Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Cheers. Have some coffee. Hear that sound? Beautiful sound. Okay. Lovely. What we're going to be doing today here on the stream is I got another interview podcast that I'm going to live react to. Cody Rhodes interviewed John Cena for the very first time after he retired. This is the first interview John Cena did after he retired, and Cody Rhodes got the pleasure of doing the interview, and they talk about a bunch of different stuff from The Rock to the retirement to the match to the farewell tour to all things. I've just seen the little snippets and clips. I haven't seen the full episode, so I will be live reacting to it here with my own commentary. I am a former professional wrestler, so I understand sort of the intricacies of the business, and so I will be live reacting to it, and adding my commentary and some questions and comments and all things that considered. So let me just share it. We can all watch it together, and then we will go from there. So here we go, John Cena. There we go. All right, full screen, and let's rock and roll.
Hello, it's the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, undisputed WWE champion. Welcome to What Do You Want to Talk?
For a second, if you're over on TikTok, the best place to be to watch the full stream is over on YouTube, Twitch, or X. And then, anyways, other than that, thanks for joining. Let me just pin some products we got down below. Here we go. Bang. Hat I'm wearing is now pinned here on TikTok, and full stream over on YouTube. Here we go.
About A Fanatics and WWE original production. Today, the podcast is happening, but it's not at WWE's warehouse. It's not at my home away from home, my tour bus. It is actually at the world famous Nightmare Factory in Atlanta, Georgia. And that is at the request of our guest. And I think that's going to become a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is Never Seen 17. He is the greatest of all time. He is one of my close and personal friends. He, star of stage, screen, film, everything you could possibly think of. Future Hall of Famer, Mount Rushmore wrestler. My gosh, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to What Do You Want to Talk About, John Cena.
Oh. So we do one of these?
We can do one of those right out of the gate.
Do we explain what we have?
Well, let's get a cheers.
Hold on, you call it. What are we drinking to?
Oh, well, that's easy. These are your very first remarks since retirement, which I know you had that choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you very much for choosing us to do this here. So
here's to tipping it back at 9 a.m.
There it is. And it is 9 a.m.
That's so funny.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world.
Good stuff. Okay, if you're over on TikTok, best place to be to watch the full stream is over on YouTube.
Live
Join me there.
Or get pulled over.
Oh my
Dad,
God.
what happened to the evil wizard?
It's a good start. Good start to the
You still
stream
think
here
about
with
the
two
Bills game, huh?
commercials,
Try
two
this.
ads from YouTube.
Better?
Sorry, Josh. I mean, Jason. I named you.
Snickers satisfies.
Here we go.
I have a American Mule brought to you by Wheatley Vodka. You, sir, have
You
what?
can't sip me.
Oh!
So this is a couple hits of Wheatley, a little bit of seltzer water, some lemon juice, some simple syrup on ice. Make sure it's cold. It's quite refreshing.
It's a very classic wrestler fashion to be drinking at 9 a.m. So cheers to John and Cody. I have my cup of coffee at 3:17 p.m. They're drinking at 9 a.m. It's all one and the same, eh? Here we go.
Yeah.
You can't really taste anything. It's got hints of citrus. It's like a cold glass of Wake Up. Not to be confused with an Okerlund. An Okerlund is literally a vodka cranberry where you just whisper the word cranberry over about 16 ounces of vodka. R.I.P. Mean Gene.
Let me full stop on the Okerlund.
Yeah.
Okerlund.
Yeah.
As in Mean Gene Okerlund?
Is there another?
There is not.
The legendary Mean Gene still has his own drink at a golf course called Gator Creek down in Sarasota. And when you go into Gator Creek and order an Okerlund, they give you a 16-ounce foam cup. They dip it in ice, so it's to the brim. They pour vodka to the last rung on the cup.
My gosh.
They take cranberry juice, they put a dab on their finger, and they put it in there just so it makes the whole thing like a reddish color.
Yeah.
And then you go out and play 18 holes.
This is not the question that I was going to ask you right away.
Yeah.
But with such a
That is good.
verbose, descriptive, and accurate description of what the Okerlund was in Sarasota, Florida, at Gator
Creek.
at Gator Creek. Okay, at Gator Creek. Do you find
That I had one too many down there? Yes, I did.
admitted? So he's not denying it, folks. Do you find that everything you encounter in your life that you enjoy, hobbies, professions, whatever it may be? I'm asking this because having watched you and studied you for as long as I have, do you find that you have to know every detail and be a master of the things you like and enjoy?
No, because I'm far from that.
Well, you're far ahead of many others. I'm going to give you an example. Again, this probably is not what you're expecting at 9 a.m.
Man,
over
I'm
you can't sit me.
a conversation. And that's basically just saying don't take a pull off my drink.
Yeah,
I
so
will get you your own.
you're I am very happy with this American Mule. I am curious, can you potentially dial me up, but you can't sit me? Or is that the one? Oh, 9 a.m. Here we go. Cricket Wireless later
I was going to
today.
say, by the way, dude, you are a monster. You came home after a double taping of Raw. You have 1 day free and not even a day. I'm like,
No.
man, I can do this today. And you're like, I can do it morning or evening. And I foolishly chose morning. But here you are ready to go. And you got a full day commercial shoot after this. Thanks, man. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to knowing what it takes, knowing what the word
Cheers
hustle
to that.
means.
Indeed.
I mean, just to stop there for a second, I just truly don't think people understand the life of a professional wrestler, whether that be an independent professional wrestler, whether that be a WWE superstar. I don't know much about the travel of AEW outside of what Wheeler Yuta tells me, but it's just very arduous and long and taxing, and especially as champion, as the undisputed WWE champion that Cody Rhodes is, and someone who wants to be the quarterback. He is everywhere all the time. And so, yes, you may only see the Monday Night Raw on Netflix, but you didn't see every single thing that led up to that, every workout, every promo picture, every backstage taping, every airplane ride or bus ride or trip or conversation or podcast or whatever the case may be, all leading up to be able to perform in that ring. And of course, if you're watching this, you can see throughout the Nightmare Factory where Cody Rhodes potentially does training or has a school or whatever the case may be. And so there's so many things that lead into just an actual match. And that's why WWE is a very, very, very hard life, because, yeah, they may only be wrestling 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 times a week now, but they're still doing so many different things outside of that to promote the brand, especially if you are like Cody Rhodes and you are the undisputed WWE champion. And if you're on TikTok, please, the best place to be is over on YouTube, or you can check out the merch we got linked down below. Anyways, here we go. Back to the show.
You were about to give me an anecdote, and boy, do I love them.
No, it was more of when I've watched a lot of things that you've done in interviews, because you're always really specific and measured about where you land, who you talk to, especially as you've experienced more and more of a career and you value your time. Time is such a great currency. It is the most important thing. I saw you explain to a group, I believe they're called Bon Appetit, what a flat white was. And I don't think I could ever see something that was more a direct reflection on how you were as a wrestling teacher. As a wrestling teacher, you never just said, hey, kid, this is the thing. You never just said it once. You made it so clear that the next time you went out, you could not miss whatever the lesson was. And now I've watched you go in on this flat white, and I actually timed it. It's a little over 3 minutes of you explaining coffee first. This is milk with 2 shots of espresso. It's so you that I wondered, the things he liked, does he just need to know every single detail, every aspect of them? Or are you just loving life that you got to know it all? Because that all.
Well, I think there's just something to be said about the people who are the best in the world at what they do, like John Cena, are very, very meticulous about the details. The small details matter the most. And the saying is like how you do one thing is how you do everything. And maybe not, that's not 100% true, but it can be for John Cena. And he's very meticulous with his details. That's why he is so good at the professions that he's pursued. And Cody Rhodes is definitely alluding to that right here, right now.
What it reminded me of is every single great lesson that I am valued to have learned from you, but they were taught in a way that if you make the same mistake again, issue.
Well, interesting observation, right? In every level of anything, there's always somebody above you. And I don't know in your observations if you've seen this, but I try never to be the smartest person in the room.
Sure.
The information I give about coffee or about wrestling, there are, online hosts, critics, even people who lace boots that are you're far more into wrestling than I am. But I know what I love about wrestling. So it's all opinion. If it's chicken soup business, your way is different than my way is different than, whoever likes it and is entertained by it. But when people ask of my advice and when I get a chance to rub up against people, when we have matches and do stuff, I give the information between my two ears on what I enjoy. My description of a flat white is what I enjoy about the drink.
Yeah.
I enjoy that it's not as much milk as a latte, but not as small as a cappuccino. Like there's a lot of stuff. But if you talk to somebody like Seth or Cesaro, they will be like, the beans are roasted from here and then cured at this place and grown from this place. And that's where you lose me.
Okay.
So wrestling, for example, you will spit out facts, dates, moves, spots.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that shit. I just try to say like what I love about this. And I just came to this epiphany like a few days ago.
Yeah.
We have a conversation. You get to go out there and have a conversation with tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And when I get most agitated is when performers talk at the audience. They don't allow the conversation.
Sure.
And all the old school guys would be like, slow the fuck down. It's difficult to conceptualize. Like, I understand what all the old timers were saying, especially because here I am retired, I am one. But I also understand from a new talent, the angst of like, no, you don't get the product now because you worked slow. Sometimes a new talent can look at that piece.
I mean, I think in today's day and age, there's definitely a bit of both. And you can see John Cena adopting his style over the course of his career when he wrestled guys like AJ Styles and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, adopting his style, adding new moves, having a little faster paced stuff. And then you can see sort of an old school methodical match when he maybe goes against Brock Lesnar, or even his last match against Gunther. There is schools of thought to be taken and sort of jumbled into how you produce a great match. And I think Cody Rhodes does that as well. But that's the whole point of being sort of a student of the game in any aspect. Maybe it's just not professional wrestling. Maybe it's every aspect or any sort of thing that you're into. You want to take all bits and pieces of information, mold that together, and then you create sort of the best thing that you can possibly do. And also the thing that you enjoy the most, which is what John Cena talks about all the time.
It's a feedback. I mean, like, it's just you work lazy.
Yep.
Because you're old and you can't take bumps. I like the comparison of we are out there to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And we got, an hour and 15? We're going to talk. You're going to talk.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk. But if you talk at me for an hour and 15, I love you, dog, but I'll check out at 45. I'll hang in there, but I'll check out. And a lot of performers, they go out there and they just talk at the audience. They never give them a chance to get into the conversation. So all of my feedback is based on like, let's never forget the conversation.
Yeah.
And to have a good conversation, we got to have good material, which means we have to have a good story. I can go 3 minutes about a flat white because I've tried a ton of coffee and I found what I love. And it's like, when you take that first sip, you're like, man, I found it.
Yeah.
I love cars. But when I talk to people.
To answer your question over there on TikTok, Mike, it's definitely Bill Goldberg. And please, if you're on TikTok, come join me on YouTube for the full stream.
about cars, there's always somebody smarter.
Yeah.
You know the engine stampings and the day code on a 71 CUDA? No. I like the purple one.
Yeah.
Looks good. And it drives fun. And this is how I feel when I'm behind the wheel.
Yeah.
It's not that the way you put together a suit. There's certain lines that I'm like, man, I don't do all the details. I like this. I like a little bit of loud. This is seasonal. You might have had some influence on my choice today. I want to bring my A game. But that's it. That, and there's always someone who can go more. And I think if you're at the top of the hill, you got to get in a different room.
Interesting.
So it seems like I might have a lot of information. It's just like, hey, I found this epiphany. It's this thing I love. Yeah. This is why I love it.
But to your point, I think the reason, and you said there's always somebody else out there. I don't think a lot of people think that way. And I think very similar. We have a joke in my little group that's traveling all around. I've got the champions of crush, the gripper.
Yeah.
Turning those forearms into firearms,
yeah.
As you used to say. And I always joke about it. I'll say, hey, get a squeeze. We're joking. But what really is going through my mind is there's another guy, maybe he's at NXT. There's another wrestler. Maybe he's on an independent level. There's someone out there who would like the spot. And I this is more on the spirit of competition and not knowledge, but I want to make sure I'm going to do in this random, I'm here working out at 3 a.m. I'm doing something consistently to try and keep myself in the game and keep it at bay. Whoever that person is, it's completely different than the individual who's out there who has more knowledge, I suppose, but it's similar in a way that I just enjoy that you get in.
I mean, again, this goes back to the grind and paying attention to detail and being super competitive about what you want and striving to be the best at getting better. All of those things are going to be wickedly important in any domain that you're after. You want to be a great parent, a great wrestler, a great athlete, a great business person. You have to focus on the details. You have to do things at a consistent level. And you have to be competitive, not against everyone else really, but against who you were yesterday and who you could be tomorrow. And I think that's the most important thing. Again, if you're on TikTok, full stream is over on YouTube, reacting to a John Cena and Cody Rhodes podcast episode. You can hear that and watch that with me over on YouTube.
Into the details on so many things that you love and enjoy. But you said something, because again, these are your first remarks since retirement.
Yeah.
Chose to make them here at the world famous Nightmare Factory.
I love this, man. I hope you don't move. I hope you do every broadcast from here. WWID facility, by the way.
Yes.
I mean, you want to this is the gateway drug to Orlando, which is the gateway drug to playing for the Yankees, as we say.
As a gateway drug. You said you had an epiphany.
Yeah.
About what you love. Are you saying the conversation in terms of what you loved about wrestling? You're talking about, I love all these little things here and there, but what is it that you found? And I mean more so, and I'm sorry if this is so immediate. I think more after retirement, which is at this moment a day and a half removed.
Yep.
What do you love about it?
Well, so the epiphany was crazy, right? And it's just an example of like, let's never stop learning.
Yeah.
So this is Friday. Yeah. I get this like, holy shit, I found a way to say what I'm actually feeling.
Yeah.
I was just reading through a book, and it was about the ability to have fierce conversations. And you want to let everybody contribute. You want to have a conversation. And they were talking about like the power of the pause and the silence, essentially slowing down.
Sure.
It's those moments where you do action as your piece of the conversation, and then you slow down to allow.
As long as I've been in wrestling and studied wrestling, I've never heard someone relate a wrestling match to a conversation. But now that I've been a wrestler and I'm a podcaster, you can understand that the conversation is extremely important. I don't want to talk at the audience. I want to talk with the audience. The power of the pause is extremely important, especially if someone's gathering their thoughts. You don't need to fill that void. You need to let people digest and hear and understand. And that's the same thing in a professional wrestling match. Big move happens, digest, slow down, let it register. The pain, the sympathy, whatever the story is there. Same thing in a conversation. Someone shares something with you that's deep and meaningful and powerful, or whatever the case may be. You don't immediately have to say something afterwards. You can let it sink and let it sit and stay with it and hold it. And I think that's an important part of a conversation. And John Cena relating it to a professional wrestling match is pretty cool.
The arena to have their piece of the conversation. I'm like, holy shit. I think I can finally articulate what's up here to a Javon Evans at 21 years old.
Yeah.
Be like, Javon, if I talk to you for 45 minutes, you're not going to care. But if we can talk, if you can tell me what's on your mind and I can talk to you, and then maybe we both walk away having grown a little bit.
Yeah.
Just make sure you do that in your matches.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Where I don't have to say, slow down, kid, you're going too fast. That immediately puts you on the defensive. Slow down. You can't keep up, old man. It's not about that. It's you're gonna feel it when you feel it, but now you got a chip on your shoulder to prove me wrong, and prove working fast is gonna work. Yeah. And I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying, just make sure you always have a conversation with him out there. You know what I'm saying? And that happened the day before I retired. So what I love about it is like, you're learning all the time, you know?
I love
That's
this.
all.
All right, sports fans, this is the tag team you've been waiting for. Affirm and Fanatics just joined forces, so you can grab your fan gear today and pay overtime. With a
My God, get out of there. Oh yeah, ad break and then commercial. You got just God. And yes, I'm talking about John Cena. If you're on TikTok, over there, come over there on YouTube, hang out.
Kyle
God,
just
these
made a
back-to-back
decision
commercials are out of control.
that would change his whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
I want to ask you about two different faces.
Sure.
Two different faces. One is the Elimination Chamber.
Sure.
Where we in the industry would say you turned heel.
Yep.
The other is the final moment of your pro wrestling career.
Yep.
Where you were in Gunther's submission hold. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, throwing it. There we go. 9 a.m. All right. And the end had come. I feel there's maybe a deeper meaning. I'm juxtaposing these photos against each other, and there's a deeper meaning to the face and the story you told with your face, which in wrestling, especially you mentioned the old timers and the legends. Oh, your face, that's your money. It's not a lie at all. It's how we articulate things to the audience as a pro wrestler, even if we don't have the cameras and the trons and the walls, the great old school pantomime. That face that night in Toronto in the Elimination Chamber versus the smile to a degree that came over your face at the very end, Saturday night's main event against Gunther. Again, this is immediately fresh. Retirement was a day ago. What's the story of those two faces?
So I think that matters, but I don't know how much it matters. Here's what I've learned over the years, and we've had some time to work together.
Yeah.
So I think you'll be, as I say this, you'll be able to maybe reflect upon moments we've had or moments you've had and put some truth to it. I always attack things from a what's the story? What is our why? Why are we doing this?
Yes.
You have to start out with why you're painting the picture.
Everything in life, everything in wrestling is based on narrative. You talk to Dr. Jordan Peterson and he explains narrative. What we perceive, how we perceive the story we tell ourselves is how we go about our life. And it's the same thing in a professional wrestling match. It's the same thing with how the fans view what John Cena does when he turns heel or when he smiles at the end, when he taps out to Gunther. All of this stuff is about narrative and storytelling and how the audience can invest in it. Or if we're personally talking about our own story, like how we tell ourselves what the story is and how we can go about our life. This is bad, or this is good, or I want to move forward, or this is my perception, or whatever the story is. Like, that's why, you know, wrestling is culture. You hear Andrew, what's his name? Andrew Schultz talk about that on his show all the time.
The unfortunate thing is you then put your art out for the public.
Yeah.
And what I've learned over the years is once you put your art out, it is no longer yours.
Understood.
It's not.
Yeah.
So you can ask me what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And now you look at the artist painting and it's like you're walking through a gallery and the artist is right there. And I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. But what I'm thinking matters little because of the overwhelming conversation that the public has.
Sure.
Maybe, just maybe, I'll give a guideline to some folks out there and it'll help curate their experience.
Yeah.
But just because I set out to do something,
Yeah.
now it's in the public's hands and the public views it how they want.
Of course.
I'll work backwards.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, I'll try to lean into it all. The 15-month, I'm announcing my retirement, we have a year left, or 18-month, is literally a chronicle of the cycle of life. Like it is an individual towards the end of their life announcing that, hey, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And I really thought a lot about what I've been able to be lucky enough to be a part of here. And then the change in demeanor when I kicked you in the nuts was easy. I am known for smiling in the face of adversity.
Sure.
In the face of polarization, taking it all in stride, not taking myself.
I mean, if you're not familiar with John Cena, which would be, strange maybe if you're watching this, but John Cena is sort of the ultimate babyface, the ultimate good guy, the never give up, never say die, hustle, loyalty, respect guy. And so when he didn't turn heel, which in wrestling terms, like Cody Rhodes said, is to become a bad guy, it was very shocking and very interesting, similar to when Hulk Hogan turned heel back in the day. And so this is what John Cena is alluding to right here.
Too seriously. And then, you make this announcement and then you have a 6-month pause and then you have Jan 6 into it where it's like, all right, we're going to have some fun. And then you have Rumble and I come so close. Now, going into Rumble, the story is like, just happy to be here. I want to make out the year in one piece. And then I almost win. And I lose because of stupid confidence. I hit the mat, not selling upright, and look back and be like, I almost had it.
Yeah.
So then I get an opportunity in the press conference to let people know that, like, I'm serious, I'm goal focused, I want to win that again.
Yeah.
I've changed my perspective. This is not a farewell handshake tour. Flash forward to Elimination Chamber. And this is how the business works. And I know this is forever the critical discussion outside of the confines of people who said, I want you to do this, that own the thing. They wanted to make Elimination Chamber a moment. I get it. The business is about making moments. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't always have to have a 9-month trajectory. You can understand that, like, we got a ton of eyes on tonight.
Yeah.
Let's do something impactful, and then you as artists can run through the maze and figure it out.
Yeah.
So in February, they just wanted to make a moment. And they asked me to be part of it. Holy hell, what a challenge to me creatively. So the loss of that good side at all costs to get that was easy to explain. And when we all talked about it, the one detail I made is, I'll do whatever the fuck you guys want. Just stay on the face for longer than you think.
Yeah.
So one thing I said,
Yeah.
It's going to feel weird. Just stay.
Yeah.
Flash forward to the end. I envisioned something.
The sort of back end rumor of the story here is that ticket sales were low heading into Elimination Chamber. They called Rock last minute. Travis Scott wanted to be involved. And I think the heel turn itself was cool, but hopefully John gets into this, is like the afterwards, like The Rock disappears, Travis Scott disappears, no one's to be found. And then John Cena sort of just magically turns back to a babyface. And so I'm glad that John Cena is being honest here, that really WWE had no plans with John Cena turning heel. It was just to create a moment. And it absolutely was one of the most historic moments in WWE history, probably the greatest heel turn of all time. But then it led to nothing. And so kind of just after that fell a little bit flat. But the moment itself, the facial expression, the kick in the nuts, the selling the soul, all of these types of things were cool moments that 20 years down the line, we're going to say, wow, that was a really cool moment. But now it just sort of kind of ruined the trajectory of where it might go. And The Rock was a no-show, and I don't know what happened to him or whatever the case may be, but it was just it didn't seem as important after the actual event happened. Also, if you're on TikTok, best place to be is over on YouTube for the full stream. Come hang.
Beautiful. Saturday far exceeded whatever was in my heart and soul.
Yeah.
So I know I'm out there one last time. They had to move the side ramps in to put more seats. And it almost was like a fire hazard to go down the ramp.
Okay.
You cannot fit any more. I know it's an old wrestler story,
Yeah.
but I'm setting the stage for why I was so filled with joy. You can't fit any more people in there.
Yeah.
So going up to this event, I made sure everyone I talked to, all the podcasts I did, I'm like, hey, I know you may not think I'm going to retire. I am. I'm comfortable with that. Please just get the closure you need.
Losing to last week's leftovers.
Time to bring the juice.
When every day feels like Monday, bring the juice.
Bring the
Minute
juice.
Maid.
Dollar Shave Club brought us, a bunch of regular guys, to
I
make
use
this
Dollar Shave
commercial.
Club.
For their best razor ever.
Hey, what a great
razor
commercial.
lasts longer than me.
I kind of thought it was bull crap until I used it.
Dollar Shave Club, it's for your face.
So now I'm out there. They hate the guy I'm working with. They universally cheer me. That is fucking rare. And for the last 5 minutes, everything I preach about story and drama and having a conversation with the audience, the ones I love are in the front row. I know my colleagues are watching on the monitor back there. We're just in a sleeper hold, man.
Yeah. Ed Koski brought that up.
We're just in a sleeper hold.
Sleeper for
But
sleeper.
we're having that conversation with the audience.
Yeah.
So as I essentially take my last breath, I have struggled. If you think of somebody, the natural causes scenario, or however we picture loss in our life, all of us have been through it. They struggle, they struggle, they struggle. They hang on just long enough to make sure to say goodbye to everybody that's been meaningful in their lives. And that whole day was so many unbelievably vulnerable, meaningful conversations.
Yeah.
And then you realize I've connected with everybody I love.
Yeah.
Physically, I feel great. I think it's time to take that last breath.
Yeah.
And that's that. I hate to keep going back morbidly to obituaries, but like, this person died peacefully.
Yeah. He faced death with a smile.
Yes. And knowing that, like, man, we are in a good place. We're going to be great going forward. And this is literally like the bottom of the t-shirt says, I gave everything. Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
And
I gave everything. Thank you for everything. I love that John Cena tapped out in his very last match. I predicted it on one of my shows a couple weeks before it happened. It's the best possible scenario for him, for Gunther, and for the rest of the wrestling business. And John Cena explaining it here right now. So maybe it wasn't a premeditated decision to tap out, because John Cena does call most of his matches on the fly, because as he's talking about here, he's listening to the audience. He's having a conversation with the audience. And Gunther is a 20-year pro and does the same thing. And so maybe the first finish was the clothesline finish, or maybe it was a power bomb, and then they got into the sleeper hold, and John Cena was like, this is the way. I'm taking my last breath. I've said I love you to everyone that I love. The fans are here with me. This is a beautiful moment. Let's share it together. I'm going to smile on my way out, and then boom, I'm off into the sunset. And the next night on Monday Night Raw, after John Cena retired, which was December 13th, the next Monday Night Raw was December 15th, and Gunther got the greatest heel reaction I think I've ever seen on a live episode of Monday Night Raw, and so it did its job. Unknowingly, I think John did that, but he wanted to go out his way, and most people were mad at Triple H for making the booking decision or whatever the case may be. And it's like, John Cena made a ton of decisions for himself during his farewell tour. Yes, they might have, again, he alluded to Elimination Chamber. WWE kind of forced him to make that moment. And so he made the moment to challenge himself creatively. I love that way of framing it, right? But then this moment, his very last match, the smile, that's all John Cena. And that's a beautiful way to put it as he's explained it to Cody Rhodes here. Let's continue.
Matt, in that one moment, that was that going peacefully. You know, so like the whole tour, the year story, for me is just the cycle of someone facing the end of their life. The struggles they go with. I got a raw deal. I want this one more time. This will make me happy. This will make me live forever.
Yeah.
And then realizing like, oh, I've kind of been a prick and gone against my values. And having a good person, somebody you know and love, be like, man, this isn't you, dog. Let's do it the right way. Which connects to our why and helps us tell the story and have a conversation with the audience.
Yeah.
And then moments with colleagues that I have history with.
Yeah.
Tributes to everybody I've shared canvas with, or as many people as I could squeeze in one match before we had to take it home.
Yeah.
New competitors, so you can pass on the wisdom and knowledge. Heck, the deal in San Diego where we ran everybody who bought a ticket into the ring practically, and can get as many people around that element as like, man, I only have a few more matches left to call. Can we run 27 people down so they can just at least hear the noise? And then to be honored to be in there with somebody who takes the mat as sacred.
Yeah.
I don't care who likes or doesn't like Gunther. Respect is a core value. He hits hard and pure, and he is all about this 20 by 20 box. And whether he does it my way, a wise man once said, just because it's the way John does it, doesn't mean it's the way it needs to be done. And
yeah, I mean, I have the utmost respect for Gunther. He's someone that when I was an active professional wrestler, he's someone that I trained with and have been in the ring with. And he's always been that way since I've known him. Back in 2017, I met Gunther when he was Walter. And the mat is sacred. He is the ring general. He takes what he does in that ring very, very, very seriously. That's why you wipe your feet before you get into the ring. Like, these things are important to Gunther and to Walter, or however you want to call him, doesn't matter. Gunther now. And John Cena got that. And so, yeah, maybe you don't like the way Gunther goes about his business, but you have to respect the fact that he does care deeply about professional wrestling, and the mat is very sacred to him. And I learned that from him training with him in Germany back in 2017.
I got the utmost respect for him. So that's kind of that's what the artist was thinking when painting the picture.
Right.
The audience didn't necessarily get that, and 9 times out of 10, Cody, you know, they don't even need to get it. But if you go in with no story, and nothing in here and nothing in here, you just do a fucking stunt show.
Yeah.
You know,
you said something that really, really struck me, because I was hoping, I thought maybe I'm right. Maybe it was he faced death with a smile, and he had done
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
100%. But you said something about San Diego that I think speaks to how much you wanted modern WWE and its talent and its roster to get the rub and experience something maybe they hadn't experienced yet. You said, let's run everybody down just so that they can hear the noise. That specific noise is for you because you elicit a very unique response from our audience and have the most unique connection with them. I don't know if it's my place to say it, but I can say thank you for a bazillion things, but I can say thank you just for saying that, because again, you might say you did have to, but you didn't. You certainly didn't. Just the idea of letting these run-ins happen and these moments take place in Petco Park so they can feel what that feels like, because it's not just a matter of, hey, here's a gift. You feel it now. The gift is, oh no, I know what to do in this moment. I was there once. They might do this.
Yeah, to be able to experience something like that is very important, because then as a young wrestler, you can go and try and replicate it. John Cena has always had a unique, as Cody Rhodes is saying, a unique relationship with the audience. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Super Cena. Now they love Cena. Kind of the same kind of reaction that Roman Reigns has always gotten. Like, Roman Reigns is being shoved down our throats. Now Roman Reigns is sort of the god of WWE. And so for young wrestlers to be able to experience what John Cena gets and how he creates that environment, how he nurtures that environment with the audience, and he's done that over years and years of work and dedication and time and respect, to be able to feel and hear that is like, okay, now I know where the sort of the benchmark is for what I need to produce as a professional wrestler and an entertainer to be able to get that reaction like John Cena. And I think that's really, really cool and important that was one of his goals heading into his farewell tour.
You never get that experience unless you really feel it, which is, we talk about it all the time on this podcast, the lack of live events in our no longer, we go out there and go off of old experience, but for the new guys, how will they get those moments? How will they know, hey, this worked, this feeling, this moment, I think I can get, and these are when the stakes are far less than a giant retirement tour with an Intercontinental Championship on the line, as it was in Petco. I think that's a really wonderful thing to hear.
I want to lean into something you said, though.
Yeah.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world.
Again, if you're over on TikTok, there's an ad break on YouTube. If you're over on TikTok, come join us over on YouTube for the full stream, hanging out.
Drive sober or get pulled over.
All right, here we go.
I always try to be coachable.
Yeah.
And I could be in the school of thought of like, you need 200 live events a year. No, we don't, because that's not where we're at.
Right.
So again, there's what the artist tries to paint, and there's what the audience interprets.
Yeah.
What the artist is trying to paint is essentially, yes, let's get people to hear the noise. But the message I really tried to hammer home to new talent was, I am on my way out. This would be the easy way to do it.
Yeah.
I want you to know that I am making brave, courageous decisions that will have polarizing and critical feedback.
Yeah.
And I am still trying to fail. I am desperately trying to fail on my way out the door.
Yeah.
So we could bitch and complain about a system that is archaic and doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Or I could influence people to say, you got 52 live events this year.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid to fail on camera.
Interesting.
Be a little more surgical about that if you're first and if you're last.
Sure.
Be a little more surgical.
Yeah.
But if you were in a spot to take a big swing, and this is what I did with everybody I faced, including you and me at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna try something different. We're gonna take a big swing. And holy shit, was it criticized. But I wasn't gonna just go out there and do the easy thing. I wanted to paint a different picture.
Yeah.
And then just listen to what the audience says, and we go from there. And your trust and faith in me.
Love this comment over on YouTube. Cena, you are a gem and a class act, and I loved and respected your commitment and what you've always stood for. Absolutely. Absolutely. Here we go. Back
knowing that, like, oh my God, every wrestler uses WrestleMania as the end of their book, and me being like, dude, it's like the beginning.
Yeah.
We got another 3.5 months, and I promise you we're going to build.
Yeah.
You know, and then just kind of meandering those waters, because we do the thing, and then the day after we do the thing, everybody's like, hey, so all the stuff we talked about, that's out.
Right.
And thank goodness you're of the same mindset. We're like, okay, so what are we doing now?
Yeah.
Let's pick 6, let's get out in the field and go again. You know, but I guess a message I was trying to send to the professionals I was working with. I talk about failure so often. Like, don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
A lot of folks would be like, easy for you to say, everything you do is a fucking hit. No, it's not. Everything I do is criticized at such a...
Well, I think it's an important how you describe the word failure. John Cena is using it in a specific context here. And I think the word failure, in my eyes and what I teach my athletes, is that failure means the refusal to move forward. So if John Cena had a bad match, failed, and then never got up again and never had another match, that's a failure. What he's talking about specifically is being willing to fall down and get back up. He's talking about mistakes. So John Cena uses the word fail in a very positive regard. He's like, go out there and try and fail, whatever the case may be. But I don't see that as failure. I see that as you trying, which is amazing, and then getting back up and then moving forward. So we just have a different definition of the word failure. But I think if you conceptualize it in that way, every time you fall down, you learn and you get back up and you move forward. That's just a mistake. It's not a fail, and we're not a failure because of it. John Cena is right, though, right? The only way to get good at something is to try and fall down and get back up and fall down and get back up and fall down and get back up, especially in a professional wrestling context, right? If you're trying a new move or a new match or whatever the case may be, yes. And then, of course, wrestling mirrors life. If you're trying something new or you're going on a new endeavor or whatever the case may be, you have to be willing to be a fool to advance. And you're going to make mistakes along the way. There's going to be challenges, setbacks, and obstacles, and how you overcome them and how you view them is the most important thing. And John Cena is certainly alluding to that here.
Microscopic surgical level,
Yeah.
but it will not stop me from failing.
Yeah.
So like do you think they'll buy this? You and me sitting high atop New York City, figuring shit out. And be like, do you think they'll buy it? And man, I think
what a way to call a match, by the way. What a way to call a match.
My goodness.
In the most
I'm
beautiful
only
building.
giving you I'm showing you the exit sign to the
Do you mind if I elaborate slightly on
This is our conversation, bud.
You,
We want to talk.
You called me to your unbelievable high-rise in Manhattan overlooking Central Park, which I don't think I'd ever even seen like that. And you just said, let's get a cigar. And this place has a burger too. And I was amazed that we did have a cigar or two and tried various spirits. But
got a good question over on YouTube or on TikTok from AB. Are you filming or on a podcast? I'm actually just streaming live on YouTube. I'm reacting to a John Cena and Cody Rhodes podcast. So go to YouTube if you want to be a part of the full stream. Thank you for the question over on TikTok. Here we go.
Somehow in there, an entire story and match was talked about in a way that if that was the only conversation, I would have known exactly what we were doing in the ring the next day. It was, I couldn't have asked for a better way to, we're actually talking about the match now. It was just it was a wonderful experience. I got a good picture from it.
This message is sponsored by Raycon. Keep your ears open and your holiday playlist rolling with Raycon audio products site-wide.
I got a slight disagree with you too. I got a slight disagree.
Sure.
And as someone who considers himself under your tutelage for a long time, maybe the live events are archaic, but I like a little archaic. And maybe that's counterproductive, but you remember some of these places. I mean, for people who don't know the full story, I was a little bit like a driver. I drove you around. You, like you said, you can't take the big swings when you're first or you're last. Often the live events were you as the main event, maybe against Randy Orton, and it made it so that we in the middle could take some big swings and have some unique finishes and try some fun stuff because we were set with what was happening at the end of the night, that they were going to get a consistent, awesome moment, their money's worth plus. And that gave us
I'm kind of torn back and forth between WWE's live events. Like, it's great for the talent now. They don't have to be on the road like basically 5-6 days a week like they were pre-COVID. But also you can see some of the younger guys who come through and gals don't have that sort of sharp experience that you need to have to perform in front of a live audience. Yeah, most of them come from NXT, so they have that experience. But it is totally different performing in front of an NXT audience and a WWE, like actual live audience on Raw or on a SmackDown or on a pay-per-view or PLE or whatever you want to call it. And so having those live events to be able to sort of clear up anything, your match style, your flow, your pacing, your timing, your execution, or to go through a sort of match you're going to have with someone you're about to feud with. I think those are deeply important things and just make everything a little bit sharper and crisper. So yeah, I wouldn't come back and put 200 live events every year. It's like, destroys the talent physically, emotionally, mentally. They can't be home with their children, whatever the case may be. But there does need to be a place where they can really hone that craft once they sort of want to bridge the gap between NXT and WWE.
License. I remember wrestling Carlito, wrestling all kinds of different people throughout that first part of my career, and always different, trying something new. Arn Anderson, who's someone who you've had helping you throughout your career, saying, try this tonight or do this. And we short time, but what about this? And I loved taking those swings. But I also, even though from a business standpoint, which you've always approached everything as such a businessman, which I want to talk about in a second, I still think there's piece of fun and morale that actually leans into the business side of it.
Laundry, fighting dirty.
Bring the juice, Oos.
When every day feels like Monday, Minute Maid, bring the juice.
Money in the Bank time. Cody Rhodes is climbing the ladder. He's actually
done it. The Money in the Bank case is mine.
Wait a second. He's cashing in.
Can't wait to get my son some WWE toys.
WWE
Awesome.
Money in the Bank kickout ring.
Fire me up.
I'm not disagreeing with you, right?
Yeah.
I think the arduous travel is not a good thing nor a bad thing. It's a thing. It has pros and cons.
Yeah.
Everything you stated certainly weeds out folks who don't want to be there.
That's right.
You earn every cent.
Yeah.
There's a lot that is different
Yeah.
now about the business, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But who cares? That's not what we do.
No, it is not.
So either I'm stuck in a place that I wish was and is no longer a thing.
Yes.
Or where are we at now?
Yeah.
And you say, oh man, the live events were.
I mean, listening to a bunch of John Cena podcasts, that's one thing he seems to do really well from an outsider's perspective is like totally accept reality as is. And I did a full podcast episode recently about 8 factors or 8 essential principles in building resilience in the modern world. And one of those main essential factors is accepting reality no matter how hard. So John Cena is right. Who cares? It is what it is. This is the product now. And we can do the same thing in our everyday life. Like something might be happening or we disagree with this, or like we have to accept reality as is. Then we can only move forward from that place. It's like awareness, acceptance, action. And I think John Cena, at least from what I've heard on podcasts with Joe Rogan and things like that, is like really does do a good job of saying it is what it is. And now what?
Fun because we take a big swing. Every time they turn the cameras on, it's a live event.
True.
I'd never treat any event other than a live event. And when I hear people say, oh, we used to do this at live events, my knee-jerk reaction is, well, what is tonight?
Yeah, there's a live audience.
It's a television audience. It's a live event.
Yes.
And if the audience is apathetic, I don't care how good you think your story is, it's not good.
Yeah.
You want the live event. And through having a ton of reps, so my training is with a ton of time under tension in front of live audiences, but I treat everything like a live event.
Sure.
Here's a knock against live events. I would see performers like you and people in the middle go out and have fun on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And on Monday, they would lose everything they learned and just do a surgical, bland, storyless performance because they knew they were on television.
Right.
And they never took any of the wisdom or any of the fun they had and put it in here when the cameras were on.
Yeah.
What I was grateful enough to have was teachers and mentors who were like, Saturday is no different than Monday.
Yeah.
Remember why the people got energized.
Sure.
It's because you did this goofy thing. And if you're not brave enough to put the goofy thing on TV, put the emotion you had doing the goofy thing on TV.
Yeah.
And they'll believe. So we are where we are now.
Yeah.
And we need to somehow let everybody know that, like, hey, what you do is beautiful and athletic and strong and like unbelievable.
Yeah.
But the way they can attach to you is by knowing who you are.
Yeah.
And we got to do that with, it would be very difficult for me.
I mean, it's so hard, right? Just whether it's in wrestling, whether it's in life, it's like to really express yourself in the most authentic way is really hard. Because what if our authentic self gets rejected or gets pushed away or whatever the case may be? And so, especially in wrestling, right, fans cannot attach to you as a performer unless they attach to something that you represent, whether that's a value, an identity, this or that, something that you said that like resonates with them, that makes them think of themselves or someone they love, and now they're attached to who you are. But you can't know that unless you're actually expressing who you are, whether that's through your entrance or through a promo or through your match or whatever the case may be. And so it's the same thing in our own life, right? If we're not trying to express the best version of ourselves, the most authentic version of ourselves, then every group or friend or partner that we have is not really loving us. They're loving a shapeshift version of us. And so it's really about understanding your core values, your first principles, and how we can express those in the most consistent way. And you see that play out in professional wrestling and WWE all the time with the characters that have sort of the biggest reaction from the fans.
Me, especially looking at the business model and the success of the business, to go into Connecticut and petition for 220 live events a year.
Yeah.
So that's not what we have. Hey, you have The Rock and Travis.
Hey, also, if you're on TikTok, best place to be is come joining us on YouTube. We're reacting to Cody Rhodes and John Cena on their podcast. Come hang.
Travis Scott. Awesome. We can plan all this stuff. Hey, you don't have those two guys anymore.
Yeah.
Not once did you and I ever have not once. The whole world has had this conversation about like, well, what would it have been like if the two guys in it with their dick in the dirt not once had a conversation about, man, what would it have been like if we had those guys?
I've literally never heard John Cena say that, with their dick in the dirt. Come on, John. What are you talking about? But like, I'm glad he just straight up said it. Like, where the fuck are they? We have The Rock, we have Travis Scott. Now we don't fucking have either of them. And now Cody Rhodes and John are left without them. And what are they going to do? They made it work, guys.
Yeah.
No, it was
We
like,
didn't have-
okay, what now?
What's next?
What do we do now?
Yeah.
So when I hear you say like, man, I do like this and I wish it was like this. If I could give you any more advice, it's not anymore.
Hey,
it's not. We have this. So you're in a position though where like people watch you because of this. You never know who's learning what from you.
Sure.
And if you go around back there romanticizing about days that don't exist anymore, that creates a culture that romanticizes about shit that doesn't exist, and that's bad.
So they don't need to know about the Dirty 30?
No, I think they can.
They don't need to know about.
I think they can.
Because that's more my romanticizing.
I think they can, but the great thing about those stories is whenever you get a chance, if you have a layover after a double show in London, or you do Japan, or wherever, that's when you can have a moment, a sunset of fraternity, and then tell those stories about like, this is why we do this.
Yeah.
I brought my first road cooler in
for
16 years.
I'll just back it because you're getting into this road cooler talk. The Dirty 30 was a case of beer
as soon as we landed
on ice, but then there was also a backup, an emergency. There was at all times 3 of us in a car, pretty much. Obviously nobody's drinking and driving here, so I was allowed 1 Labatt Blue Light earlier in the post match, and then the cooler was often consumed.
That's why we had the emergency.
And we still, one of the great things, I was actually talking about this on my bus last night. One of the great things about it was the party and the cool of the evening. It was all there, but then we were still up.
I mean, that's the podcast we really want John Cena to talk about. It's some fucking stories, man. Some boozing stories. I got a few of my own when I used to be a professional wrestler. But like these guys, still do get after it. And there's a dark side of it, right? Of course, there's a dark side of it. We know all of the wrestlers that have passed away too soon or taken their own life. And that's obviously an absolute fucking tragedy. And I know I've known a lot of friends who've taken their own life. And it's something that I actively try and help with through my nonprofit, which is called You Are Loved. And professional mental health, professional wrestling mental health is very, very important to me. But there's also a good side of that comes from the camaraderie and the boozing and the drinking, and everything can be done in an extreme. And it's really sad when it is, but it's like there's so many different highs and lows. There's so many different highs and lows of professional wrestling. You're in the ring, you're doing your thing, and then you leave the ring. And like, how do you maintain that high? Well, you have to do all these other things, and then you have to get on the road. And like, there's so many different feelings that your body has, and you want to maintain the highest form of it. And that's obviously really hard. So then you use the crush of drugs and alcohol, and then things get out of hand, and then your mental state and all of these things happen. And then we know where that leads to. But there's also the good side of it, where you're hanging out with the boys and you're having a good time, and like you're creating memories and moments. And that's the podcast that John Cena needs. So hopefully, John Cena will do that on my show at some point. That'd be awesome. Anyways, here we go.
The next morning, is today a work day? Are we working today? Then we'll be working
Owls,
out
Eagles,
today.
buddy.
Then, yeah.
You want to fly with the Owls, you soar with the Eagles.
Oh, my gosh. One more time. If you want to fly with the Owls, soar with the Eagles.
That means you're up all night and first one up in the morning.
Oh, I love it.
And those were lessons that were taught to me. But again, the people before me lived their life a certain way. I lived my life a certain way. And you want to talk about always evolving, right?
Yeah.
So I put together my first road cooler in like 16 years. 15
Okay,
years.
yes, the cooler, yep.
The cooler is as many beers as you can, ice on top, let it sit for a day. That way the ice becomes water, and the next level of ice, holy shit.
Oh, man.
Those beers taste like money in a can. I put 24 banquets and 12 fucking athletics.
Coors OG?
24 golds. 12 NAs.
Okay.
You know why?
What?
Because what I love isn't the beers.
No.
What I love is the fraternity. And the teachers who taught me were like, if you don't drink, you can't get into the fraternity.
Yeah.
And if I had one way to change that, I would say, if you don't drink, here's a non-alcoholic beer.
Sure.
Because what you'll learn around here, it may be 6 hours of bullshit.
Yes, that has to be something that's promoted. You don't have to drink. There's never ever a point where you should be forced to drink alcohol. I think we're getting better at that in today's day and age, because there is non-alcoholic beer or whatever the case may be, and so you can still be a part of the vibes, the lessons, the camaraderie. You can have a fucking water. What is it, like Death Wish? I don't know what the water is called. Liquid Death. There it is. That looks like sort of beer in a can. So you're part of the group and you're getting the lessons and you're building the memories, but you don't have to drink. There's no forcing anyone to do anything they don't want to do. And I'm glad that's gone away with inside of this space, because that can be a really dangerous pathway.
You might have to weed through it.
But it might be 5 seconds of wisdom.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm grateful to my teachers for that. I just wish it was accessible to everybody.
Sure. You mentioned your teachers. Are there any in particular in the overall body of work, this legendary body of work that you've put up? Again, you've just retired. This is the first time you've spoken to anybody here at the Nightmare Factory. These teachers, is there any that you think of now after retirement? Has anybody that you've talked to? Because I know of a few that were special to you, but were there any that were in your head? All perhaps that were in your head?
So the common through line through every piece of mentorship, from Vince on down, was listen to the audience.
Yeah.
So if everyone in a chicken soup business of like, I do it this way, I do it this way, if everyone's message boils down to the Shawn Michaels sentence, if they were really loud, it was really good.
Yep.
He's not wrong. So my biggest teacher is the audience.
Yeah.
The audience. And the audience has taught me far more than just, did I have a good performance?
Yeah.
The audience has taught me humility, failure, perseverance, that they're going to eventually turn on you, that they're going to welcome you, that they're going to love you, that they're going to hate you. Like, it has taught me to stand through the fire.
Yeah.
You know, I was getting crushed by the live audience way before I got crushed on the screen.
Yeah.
You know, so it's actually set me in a great spot, as people have been very critical about this year, for me to be like, have I given all I have? Yes. Have I promoted as hard as I could?
Yeah.
Yes. Then let them do whatever they want, because I can't give an ounce more after that.
Sure.
And the audience has taught me, the people who are.
I mean, obviously, John keeps going back to the same sort of thing, is like, have a conversation with the audience, listen to the audience. But a key theme there is like, give your best effort. And that's a key theme for John Cena, I think, throughout his life. Again, he only has control over what he has control over, and the things he has control over, he's going to give his absolute best effort to those things because that's what's most important to him. I stole this insight from Tom Brady, and it applies here. Is like, be the best at getting better. That's what John Cena thinks about on a day-to-day basis because he has full control over that. We talked about accepting reality, no matter how hard, is a principle in building resilience. Another principle in building resilience is solely focusing on what you can control, which is your attitude, your effort, and your response. And I think that's extremely, extremely powerful. And John Cena is deeply alluding to that here in how he became the person he is. And his greatest mentor was listening to the audience and letting that dictate where he went. And I think that's really quite important. Again, if you're over on TikTok, best place to be is to join us over on YouTube, where we're streaming the Cody Rhodes and John Cena podcast and reacting to it. So cheers.
Criticizing me have taught me that lesson.
Yeah.
Of just give us all you got and then we're going to cut you to shreds.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Okay, we're back.
Well, once it's, like you said, it's art. Once it's out there.
Once it's out there, it's
no
for
longer
everyone
yours.
else.
Yeah.
And you got to let that go. You just do the best you can to be like, this is the story I'm trying to tell. The Funhouse, Firefly Funhouse, there's like a million Easter eggs in there that no one will ever get.
Yeah.
But it's theirs now. The last match, our first match, our promos, there's so much attitude and emotion and inside stories there.
Yeah.
A lot of times we would get together in conversations and you would have stuff and I'd be like, I think that's too inside.
Yeah.
And I applaud you. Again, very wise. Yes, that is what John would think. Hi, I'm Cody, and this is what I think.
Yeah.
And this is what we're going to do.
That really affected you.
That's what a teachable moment.
I thought very much that the character John, the person, this is how you would approach it. And I thought, no, I would approach it differently. And I felt like,
Cody,
I was glad it was said.
It was a beautiful, teachable moment.
Yeah.
And I can't be an advocate for like, find yourself, find your story, find your confidence, take big swings. And then essentially I know this is going to work. Do it like this.
Yeah.
You caught me in a loop. And it was like that sentence. What I heard was, be more fucking coachable. Be more coachable.
I mean, John Cena is just saying, like, got to be about it. You know, he says all these things. John says all of these things. Now, when it comes time to push and shove, is he really about it? Does he line up his words and actions? And I think he does. And that's one of my most important core values that I want to represent as a dad is like, line up your words and actions.
You say you want us to go out there and do this. I'm trying to apply that. You're trying to stifle my growth.
Okay.
So
yeah,
you were just expressing yourself in a term of a fictional stance of like, the John Cena would say this.
Yeah.
I'm the Cody, I would say this. Far more than that.
Oh, man.
And
yes. What's up, Joseph? How's it going? What's up, man? Yes, I'm live, but I am doing the full stream over on YouTube. So transfer over to YouTube if you're here on TikTok. We are reacting to a John Cena, Cody Rhodes podcast episode. So over there on Twitch or X or YouTube.
And you can never stop learning. And you were absolutely right. And you know me, I'm an advocate for best idea wins. I don't care who comes up with it.
Yeah.
You had the best idea.
Yeah.
And you wanted to bet on yourself. How can I say no?
Yeah.
That's my calling card.
That's Sting Crack.
Never thought it would get over.
You didn't think that Sting Crack would
brought
land.
the fucking house down. Holy shit!
I was surprised at that one.
Oh, by the way, we got to, because I shouted out the gold can and then the non-NAs. We got to give a shout out to Wheatley. We got to pick up the Wheatley folks. This is the You Can't Sip Me, made with quality Wheatley spirits. So we got to shout them out.
Wheatley American Vodka.
This has been the
Made in the USA,
conversation oil for this fantastic conversation.
Yeah.
So we got to shout them out.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I think, knowing you, I feel like you have
everybody behind the camera's going,
have the perfect answer. You know what? We can actually say this, and we can leave it all in there. But Wheatley's a pretty unbelievable partner. They're pretty good with real life in general.
Yeah.
They just, as long as the vodka's Wheatley, they're pretty much good. A lot of wild things that they're just a good, solid partner.
Thanks to Wheatley for being a good partner.
I'm going to Louisville tomorrow. Big Wheatley meeting. We don't even know. We're just there.
See, this is
We're
great.
doing it.
You know, you think you pedal the bike really hard, right?
Yeah.
And you try to put a flag in the dirt. And I always say, like, accomplishments are only there so they can be surpassed. Dude, I don't know how you do it. You just
I had a good teacher.
Somehow you make 24 hours into 30.
Yeah.
And one of those days I'll ask you for how you split that time. It won't be today.
I had a very good teacher who I watched sit in the passenger seat do the literal exact same thing. 6 a.m. We're at a 60% utilization. Can you do this? It wasn't even a conversation. It wasn't. Now I know one of the great things I learned from you is you need a good explanation. Give me a good explanation. Why do we need this? Often there is a good explanation. Oh, thank you so much. I'll be there. 5:30? Great. And then you think, well, that was a good explanation. You used to say this all the time. People would ask you all the time, what was your favorite match? And your answer?
My next one.
Your next one. Have you thought about...
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Have you thought about
You have been listening.
Yeah. How do you answer that question now?
So I have thought a lot about this.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And there are many moments from like the rock cliffs of Afghanistan to...
But I think there's a larger point there, right? That John is alluding to or talking about is like I teach my athletes this as well. It's like, so what next pitch, or so what next play, or so what next moment. It doesn't matter what happened. We have an event plus response equals the outcome. Event plus response equals the outcome. And so if you keep dwelling on the past, you're not in the present moment. If you keep thinking about the future, you're not in the present moment. And so what next play, so what next moment, doesn't matter what just happened. The only way to control our response or control maybe potentially or have influence over what happens next is to sit in this moment, be in this moment right here, right now, and think, okay, what's my best response moving forward? Event plus response equals outcome. So what next pitch, so what next play, so what next moment. That's what John Cena has here, but he doesn't have a next match. So now he's thinking about moments in time, things that made him feel something. And those are great memories that we're always going to have forever, especially with John Cena.
The desert in Iraq, to the first match, to the first championship, to the first world championship, to 16, to 17, to seeing all the phone lights in Perth, to actually the Funhouse match with Bray, to you and I in New Jersey, to DJ in Miami. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
I think what I really cherish most about this, it is a universal language.
Yeah.
And that's why we have such a global reach. You watch it with the volume off, you can see anger, you can see, and then you can see the match. And maybe it's just because it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
I can't get past Phil Brooks, CM Punk, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I think that might be my favorite moment in wrestling.
Wow. This is the match itself.
No,
the promo. The pre-show?
Yeah. I was lucky enough to have a promo with him that night and a match. So I'm attaching myself to that moment.
Okay.
Because I think it's one of the best moments in wrestling.
Please tell me why.
There is no shortage of divide.
Yeah.
You know, we have a million different ways to gravitate towards like-minded groups and therefore like block everyone else out. You had someone who, in a moment of frustration and reaction, said some pretty hateful things.
Yeah.
And about a culture.
Yeah.
And then you have that culture being like, fuck you.
Right.
Come at us. Like, not in our house. And then you have a man who's brave.
What John Cena is talking about is that CM Punk tweeted something about he's never going to take that blood money from Saudi Arabia when he was wrestling in AEW, and then a few years later he's wrestling in Saudi Arabia. I mean, I'm not a fan of CM Punk. I think he's a fraud. I think he's a fake. I think he's a con artist. John Cena, for some reason, really likes him. Maybe I should trust John Cena's opinion because he knows him obviously on a deeper level than I ever will. But I don't really get why John thinks this is such a special moment. CM Punk said some stupid ass fucking shit and then apologized because he had to, because he was wrestling there and WWE probably told him to. But John Cena sort of, this is one of the clips I saw on the internet. John Cena spins it a different way, but let's see, and maybe my opinion will change.
Brave enough to walk into the Lion's Den. And for young performers, old performers, please watch that pre-show. I think it fell under everybody's radar. I was bawling my eyes out, saying like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Phil goes out there. I want to say Phil because it's his development as a man.
Yeah.
Front row, there is a dude to hold him accountable. And I'm huge on accountability.
Yeah.
And in the right moment, Phil was accountable for what he said.
Yeah.
He gave a good explanation for the why. And what can we do after that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then you leave it. That's all you can do. Forgiveness takes time.
Yeah.
And when someone's ready to forgive, they'll mend that fence. That gentleman forgave him right there. And bro, the forgiveness was infectious.
Yeah.
So what I see is like, holy shit, wrestling just brought cultures together.
Yeah.
Wrestling just brought people with different ideologies together in an embrace and excitement.
Yeah.
Phil went on that pre-show at 5 p.m. We did a promo at like 8:30.
Yeah.
He went from being the most hated person to forgiving one or saying sorry to one guy and being forgiven, and then the whole pre-show forgiving him.
Yeah.
And then went out in front of 31,000 people and they forgave him.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a better moment than that. Like,
wow.
I don't know if there's a better moment of like what.
I mean, I agree with the sort of the context. Like, if you say something like that and you hold yourself accountable and you apologize, that's awesome. That's always going to be awesome. And I think people should be given second chances 100%, especially when, on social media, you could potentially say something out of, rage or frustration or whatever the case may be. And then at some point you have to be held accountable for the things that you do say. And then if you sincerely apologize and do better moving forward, I think that's fucking awesome and incredible. I just don't know if CM Punk is legit about it or he did it because he had to do it. But I'm going to sort of try and move towards the thinking of John Cena and saying that it's legit and it's real and it's great and it's awesome. But I'm not sold because I just am not sold on CM Punk as not being sort of a fraud or a con artist. But I don't really know. Again, if you're on TikTok, best place to be is to move over to YouTube. So full stream. Here we go.
We can accomplish in here.
Yeah.
Of fucked up. This is why I did.
Yeah.
This is what was going through my mind. Boy, was it the stupidest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I hope you can find it in your heart to move on. And if it's not now, okay.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to hear, bud. We have moved on.
Yeah.
Haven't we?
This year, we opened 2 new restaurants while running, how many?
5 others.
5 other restaurants. So we turned to Upwork. We found freelance pros.
Yes. And like, man, I love growth. I love accountability. I'm an advocate for love and forgiveness. And that hit me in every right place. And that wasn't even a match. That was a segment on a pre-show.
Pre-show.
And then he came out after everybody was like, we did the thing in Chicago, the pipe bomb 2.0.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, how is he going to top that? He did. He came out as the doctor of punkonomics.
Yeah.
And because he had been such an accountable, apologetic human being, he was embraced and he fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
And that's why I zone out when I get in there. Like, I very rarely, I feel everything, but like things very rarely get to me. That pre-show moment struck me so hard that when he said like, I miss you already out there, I got weird, bro. Like I couldn't, my processors like fizzled for a second.
Yeah.
When usually, me, I'm like, there's a guy on the third deck with a sign that says this.
Yeah.
I'll use it in the act. I got lost in it. That's how meaningful it was to me.
Wow.
I think for me, that's the best moment I've been a part of.
Wow. It's like not what anticipated, but that day it wasn't. I remember it wasn't unsung to me. It wasn't. I didn't underthink it. I knew he was walking out there, and it was going to get a little contentious. And then I think the thing you said about language and the universal language is what we do. The fact that it translated over the next 2 days. In addition, it multiplied. It was infectious, and it's.
And it's not just that it helped our match, and it helped our programming do a good show. I saw a man with apology, empathy, and love in his heart.
Yeah.
Try his best to mend cultural differences and do it.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I do agree to the fact that wrestling has the ability to mold, shape, transform cultures and bring cultures together based on this unifying fact that we love professional wrestling. I guess it just happened to be CM Punk. I'm agreeing with that sort of begrudgingly, but it is what it is. Thanks, John, for sharing that.
Wrestling mended cultural differences. I can't fucking top that.
When people ask about going to Saudi Arabia all the time, I've really gotten less about answering it in a way that's political and more in a sense that I'm there performing to do something that they love as much as we love.
And their love has, sorry to add myself in the conversation. No. I went over there the first time, 18?
Yeah.
They had the couches in the front row.
Yeah,
Nobody was allowed to make noise.
Yeah.
Like, you go there now, it is an incredible crowd to perform. So they've done their work too. They've invested in us.
That's a great way to
and
put it.
Far beyond a paper IOU.
Yeah.
They've invested.
Now, this sort of begs the question, right? Are they just saying this because both of these guys are super corporate WWE guys through and through? I mean, you have John Cena, the corporate guy for the last 25 years, is now an ambassador with WWE in his retirement. And you have Cody Rhodes, undisputed WWE champion, quarterback one, does all the things. You're never going to really know if this is how they truly feel, but this is how they're supposed to feel and what they can best do for WWE. So that's an interesting thing to think about as well, as you see WWE more frequently go over to Saudi Arabia.
Hard in us. And you go over there now, and it is raucous.
Yeah.
Because over the course of less than a decade, they believe.
Yeah.
That's also really special.
Right.
Because you don't know the trickle-down economics of that. You don't know the effect that has 5, 10, 15 years. Nobody can predict it.
Yeah.
But what I know is what I saw on day one and what I see now.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
The Bruce Pritchard, who's a big part of your career, I believe.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite people. He's been a guest on the podcast. He was a guest. I often like to sit here and we have these conversations. And what happens is I become a far better, I hope a better person, but I also feel from a professional standpoint, I become a far better wrestler. And Bruce was one that I don't know if the audience loved the Bruce episode that much or if they didn't love the Bruce episode that much. I think it's my favorite because I wanted to run through a brick wall as a performer, as a talent. I just felt like he just gave me the answer. That answer I needed that day, which was show up, do it, was his exact words when I asked what makes a top guy. And then it's so simple, but it's not. Show up, do it is so simple, but it's not. Not everybody gets to the part of showing up, and very few actually get to the part of doing it when it's time to do it. All this aside, something he showed me on Saturday. He knows I like to be motivated, and you know I like to be motivated, as you continuously have said you're going to show me some numbers reflective on the gigantic merch wave.
No, just
general numbers.
Yeah. First of all, I hate the term merch. It's so
okay. Well, here's what he showed me.
Anyway, yeah,
he showed me a list of numbers, sellouts, revenues, and he just flashed it at me.
I wanted to show you a year of analytics.
So it wasn't a full analytic breakdown, but it was more of a dumbed down version of all I ever needed to see. And then he took it away. He flashed it at me. He goes, "You'll appreciate this." And then he took it away. I kept thinking about that Saturday because one of the things that you taught me and was so enjoyable about all the time we spent together.
I think this is one thing that people do. Also, if you're on TikTok, best place to be is over on YouTube or Twitch or X or whether you watch the full stream. But I think this is something that fans do kind of miss when they're thinking about a top guy. A top guy isn't just like a great wrestler or can do cool stuff in the ring or has a great character. A top guy moves fucking tickets and sells money. That's why when you think about like Will Ospreay is the best wrestler in the world, he's not. The dude doesn't sell any fucking tickets. AEW is not selling out because he's there. The fans are fucking excited when he shows up, but he's not moving any other tickets. John Cena moves tickets. Roman Reigns sells tickets. Whether you like Brock Lesnar or not, he sells tickets. The Rock sells tickets and merchandise. And these things matter when thinking about a top guy and who you're going to put the championship on. That's why Jey Uso is now in the tag team division again, because he is not a top guy. And so this is very important when you're discussing who's actually the greatest of all time. It may not be to have the best fucking armbar or, power bomb move, but it's like they sold the most tickets, they moved the most merch, and they created the most reactions and moments. That is also important to talk about when thinking about a top guy.
Is you really did lead into everything you did from a segment. What's our why? What are we going to do? What's the connection? There's a live audience, guys. Why aren't you taking them in? They're out there. You always put your heart there, but you were also not afraid to lead with your mind. I think you
Absolutely,
always would
Sloppy
lead
Mike,
both
the Undertaker too.
heart
Come join me on
and
YouTube,
mind,
Mike.
and it's reflective in a sense that in DC, a building I think you told me had 700 people for an event.
700 paid, 1,200 total.
1,200 total.
Yeah, Batista's wife at the time sang the national anthem.
Batista's wife singing the national anthem. You said it was good.
Oh, yeah, she rocked it.
Rocked it.
But
1,200 people
Me
total.
and 6 other people know about it.
Right. Well, now hopefully more know about it.
More folks in the locker room than were in the stands.
You go to this same arena, and we don't just sell out. You said we move in. We almost breach fire code, and we're as what Hunter has dubbed 360.
Mike, just go to YouTube and type in my full name, and my channel will come up.
There's a difference between a sellout and a 360. 360s, we're putting seats where cameras are supposed to go.
Yeah.
Marty's having to step around people. Stu is fighting through to get an actual shot. And I just thought, obviously what a statement of love for you and your career, but also it's so John that it was not just a great, wonderful, beautiful retirement for pro wrestling fans. The world came to this show on Saturday. They called me, Hunter called me, I don't want to say they, excuse me. Hunter called me asking would I be part of it in a way that he just said it in a way that I think maybe he thought I was going to say no. I was waiting for that call. Am I going to be part of something that a guy who taught me the majority of what I know and apply, so not just what I know, and apply in his final destination as a pro wrestler, and knowing you, and I feel I'm not speaking out of turn saying, that's it. You will not be wrestling again.
That is for sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I kept saying to all my nobody ever really retired.
Especially after the beauty of Saturday.
Right.
I can't top it.
And to think that it wasn't just the hardcore wrestling fan, which we love and is always there, and they ride through every season and every era of wrestling, but the world came to that event. 1,200 people, 700 paid. Batista's wife singing the national anthem, and here you are, and we're almost breaking fire code because people wanted to see it and wanted to be part of it and wanted to touch it. Those numbers were, I still look forward to your analytics, but those numbers were staggering to me.
But I think the number that's important here is that took 23 years. And a lot of times people think they can do it overnight.
Yeah.
That's a really important perspective to take for anyone who's doing anything. If you want to be great, no matter what the domain is, expect it to take longer than you think. You got to be consistent over a very, very, very long period of time. Whether it's a podcast, a YouTube channel, a sports, a business, you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is. Like it took John Cena 23 years to get to this point where he is the most loved and respected, and he is the greatest of all time. There were times in the middle of his career where people absolutely hated him and wanted him to go. And so it's just like moving through those different seasons and knowing that you're going to commit to something over the long haul is extremely, extremely powerful.
And
Kyle Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
First of all, thank you for being part of that, because when your music hits to a crowd who knows you, it immediately brings a certain level to the live event. And you were gracious enough to work with an up and coming talent that has an incredibly bright future ahead of him. Probably not your last match with that.
I would say not.
Behemoth.
Yeah, nearly took my ear off.
But you introduced him to the noise.
Yeah,
he got to hear it for the first time.
Yeah,
and that was a personal, selfish goal of mine. How many folks can we get around the noise?
Damn, there it is again.
Let's take our top talent and put them with new talent, just so on this one night they can hear. Hearing loud noise is one thing. Hearing that level of noise is another thing.
Yeah.
And now they've heard it, so now they have something to strive for. Furthering that, I got to have one last beer in the locker room in my gear, in my socks, my knee pads, the jorts.
Yeah.
And I made a toast. And the toast was to the metrics of the evening. Largest arena in WWE history.
Wow.
Largest for the building itself. Very rarely do we hit those milestones.
No, we do not. Yes, very rare.
And the only reason I wanted to showcase those metrics is because I said that, Haku was in the room and Javon Evans was in the room.
So your last toast in the wrestling business was with Javon and Haku?
And everyone in between. We have legends, we have future stars, we have talent that are front and center in our programming. Yeah. The locker room was full. I can't believe that many people stayed. So I have 12 ounces of conversation left in me, and I choose to use a moment to say, wow, this is what we did tonight. The reason we did that is because of the effort of people like Haku.
Yeah.
Also, the goal is for you younger guys to shove that shit straight up my ass.
Mm-hmm.
You now have the metric.
Yeah.
My introduction to that was a little bit more brash.
Hit me with it.
When Steve Austin came back around and we did Staples.
Yeah.
Steve is real beautiful with his wisdom.
Yeah.
I admire him for always being him, and it's a lesson that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Shout out Stone Cold Steve Austin. Shout out Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's go. If you're on TikTok, join us over on YouTube or Twitch or X for the full stream. Here we go. Back at it. Let's hear.
Champion, doing things that the business is going well. We're digging it out. There's no more is there 1,200 people.
Yeah.
But we still are throwing out some black curtain. And I think it might have been Anaheim, because it's one of those. No, both the buildings have the tunnels, but it's like he walked in daylight.
Yeah, it was Anaheim.
It was Anaheim.
Yeah.
He walked in daylight. Hey kid, how you doing? And you could see the arena from where we were at. Like, man, I'm doing great. Things are going good. We're doing this. I'm doing this on TV tonight. He goes, that's great. We didn't have any of this fucking black curtain when I performed. Have a good night. Out. But not cold, honest.
Yeah, of
the
course.
Metric you should be reaching for, if you are doing what you say you're doing, is getting the word out. And I wanted to have that one last chance with the brotherhood, the family, the fraternity, to say we got here because of these folks. We need to surpass this because of you guys.
Yeah.
Let's toast to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it felt great. It's not braggadocious, because it's a moment. It's fleeting. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. But like, hey guys, this is the standard.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough to win 17 just so somebody knows it's possible.
Yeah.
So they can go win 18.
Right.
And I don't want to be in the dirt. I want to shake that person's hand when that happens. You know what I'm saying? Because that's for the longest time, the record would stand, and it's like, oh man, nobody's gonna even come close. And oh my God, it might be possible. Now it's possible. So if there's a young performer out there, or who knows, it's possible. Like, that's the strongest guy in the gym. Go do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoyed that.
You said it's not braggadocious, and I think.
Hey Jeremy, thanks for the follow, dude. Come join me over on YouTube for the full stream.
very similar in a sense. I had a conversation, I think I even told you about it. Production, someone who's new to WWE production came on my bus, and we were not seeing eye to eye on something. And it's fleeting. You only get one opportunity to kind of say, hey, look at what we did here tonight. And what I was explaining, because we've had this series of, especially with your farewell tour, we've had series of record grosses, arena records, just stuff that hadn't happened. And then prior to that, and coming out of WrestleMania 40, a lot of top grosses, top per caps, all that language. But I said, hey, it's not always like this. It's not. There are 3,200ers. We don't want, but there are.
And the goal is, Eddie Guerrero taught me this.
Yeah.
Those nights that 1,000 folks show up, you do everything in your living power to give them the absolute best show you can. So the next time, 1,500 people will show up.
There it is.
And you go out and do double the effort. So the next time, 3,000 people.
Yeah.
Eddie was big on the law of compounding interest, one fan at a time.
Sure.
I mean, that's a life lesson. It's like, give your fucking best effort, no matter what. If you say you care about something, if you say something is important to you, if you actually value something, then your words line up with your actions, and your actions dictate that you're going to give your absolute best effort, no fucking matter what. If there's 1 fan, 2 fans, 17 fans, 100 fans, 0 on the stream, 12 on the stream, you give your absolute best effort. And I try to take that with me. Like when I'm streaming and there's 0 people, with me, like it's, what can I build over the long haul? And I'm still going to try and give my best effort, regardless of the fact that one person might be watching or whatever the case may be. And John Cena learned that early on. He says he learned it from Eddie Guerrero.
Those lessons that stick with us. Eddie Guerrero, 1 fan at a time. Take it 1 fan at a time.
Oh my gosh.
And what I like about the metrics you discussed, like I said, that is 23 years of Owls and Eagles.
Yeah.
And that's the annuity yield. Like that's the IRA. It doesn't happen in one. And if you are one of those folks that it happens, I've seen it happen rarely, where they're shot to the top.
Yeah.
You got to stay there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love the past year because it is a true reflection to like Owls and Eagles for 2 decades, or however you want to, whatever moniker you want to put, never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect, whatever. Love what you do, be coachable, be reliable, and be professional.
Yeah.
And after 2 decades, hopefully we can do something.
I mean, take that with you. Be coachable, be reliable, be professional. Be coachable, be reliable, be professional, and be the best at getting better and give your full effort. John Cena style.
That's meaningful.
You know, this is just a side note because Haku he's in all this. Haku should be coming on the pod, by the way. Haku once beat me up after a New Japan show. Why, in the midst of it, legendary ring announcer Jim Ross said on the air, "This angle's taken too long," while Haku was beating me up. I don't know if anyone needs to know that, but when I saw Haku at ringside, I thought for a minute, he could come over here right now, and I'd have to sell. I'd have to. I got a good handshake out of him. He was happy. He liked what he was seeing that night. He was in good spirits. But yeah, Haku, certainly cheers to him. Like you said, all the things that he had done, then all the things now framed up for the young men to
that
do.
were there.
Oh my gosh.
Mark Henry, Booker T, Undertaker, Shawn, Michelle McCool, Eve Torres, heck, Elias snuck into that group. You know what I'm saying? But they're everybody who
Gorilla was a who's who
paved the way. Yeah, I think it's important because I don't look at it like I told you off air. Like, man, you guys are making the most we've ever made. Like, it's a good time to be a wrestler.
Yeah. You got hot because somebody had Louis Vuitton shoes on.
That's a joke.
You said you got to lighten the envelopes.
By the way,
paying the guys too much.
Yes, and talking like that, it's complete sarcasm.
It was, but it worried me a little. I thought, no.
I'm grateful
like
for
those
that.
shoes. Yeah.
Instead of jaded.
Mm-hmm.
Because the generation before me helped do that. It's up to you guys to get these guys in the next bracket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To make it, and you only get to the next bracket if we do great business.
Yeah.
So enjoy.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet,
This is dope tech from Wix.
Commercial break. Skip. Here we go.
Big news. WWE and sports fans.
So I got,
Well, the suit game all started. You started it at with your Taylor.
If you're on TikTok, George, over
I don't
on
know if you want
YouTube.
to shout out
Full
your
stream.
Taylor here in terms of
no, David Allen's. Well, I've gone through a few. David Allen's been my guy for well over
for quite some time.
Yes,
right. You started suit culture. I don't even remember. Maybe it was the same logic I had. My logic in it all was I wanted to subvert expectations on what someone might think when they meet a wrestler. I wanted them to think and know we are a business and we're in the business of entertainment. And that was the thing that was in my mind doing it. But no, I just wanted to bring it up that he really threw.
I mean, WWE is the pinnacle of sports entertainment, right? And you see all the time in like professional sports now, they show all the guys dressed up, walking into the locker room or walking through the tunnel. And it's like, you want to represent yourself as a superstar, as someone who is the quarterback, as someone who is carrying the company. And you want to look like Cody Rhodes or you want to look like John Cena. It's really, really, really important. And you got to dress that part. And so, I think Ric Flair started that trend back in the day, but he was doing it based on his character. Cody Rhodes is doing it based on he's a businessman and he's a sports entertainer and he wants people to view him in that regard. And the way you dress has a lot of how people perceive you and how people view you. And I think that's quite important, especially as a wrestler and how you want to be, viewed from the fan base or whatever the case may be.
Something together for this. This is quite.
He's like the gutter guards at the bowling alley.
Okay.
He will keep me out of the gutter.
Yeah.
But I like choosing my own stuff.
Yeah, you told me that. You like looking at the buttons. You like looking at the fabric.
Swatches. Like I love, because it's like making an outfit.
Yeah.
I did 36 for 36 this year. Made 36 outfits.
Yes.
And I made them all.
Yeah.
I don't tailor them. I don't stitch them all, but I'm like, no, it has to move over a little bit this way. And I want to put this as an Easter egg in there. And we need this. And like, I enjoy the process. And lo and behold, it's a uniform.
Yeah.
The suit is the same structure. I always wear either a 1 or 2 button coat. I don't wear the low vest. It's like, I don't do double-breasted. Every once in a while, double-breasted vest. Every once in a while, double-breasted coat. Like, the uniform's the same. It's just the color switch. So imagine that. The guy who always wears jorts kind of always wears the version of that.
You mentioned the uniform. Joe Hickey.
Yeah.
That to this day, I have this great relationship with Joe Hickey, who works WWE merchandise, Fanatics, WWE shop, all those things. I have this great relationship. I would never even have known his name, which would have been naive of me and ignorant of me as a WWE performer. But you used to talk to him after every event.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there and be driving and you would just go over.
Same with the Derek and Chop and all those guys. Like, Lumpy.
Pumpkin, Derek, Chop. There's a bunch of new nicknames too.
Egger.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Egg. Saw him in San Diego.
Cody as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're out there.
So what I love about Joe is he is a creative. He's an artist.
Yeah.
I enjoyed talking with Joe, with Derek and crew there.
Yeah.
Because you have guys who are not artists, but they're in the trenches.
Yeah.
You can make. I just text Derek after we did really good this weekend. I'm like, dude, we can have the best stuff. I can feel I have a uniform that is like, this is it.
Yeah.
If I don't have passionate vendors, we sell nothing.
Yeah.
And he is a passionate vendor and has a network of passionate vendors underneath him. And they care when they set up and they'll tell you like, it ain't doing so hot. It's the ultimate pivot from them. Like, I always like talking to Joe about the artistry. And then when we get the artistry, bringing in Derek to be like, can we vend this?
Sure.
It's a team back there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, it's a team.
And you know me, nobody does it alone. Those guys are just as valuable as Stu and Marty and everybody in the truck and Scalise. And
I mean, John Cena obviously makes a really good point here that also a sports psychologist that I follow, Dr. Michael Gervais, always makes this point, is that nobody does anything great alone. You might see John Cena in the ring by himself, but there's so many things happening behind the scenes that make a John Cena or make a WWE event or make it whatever event you're thinking about. There's so much that goes into it, and so nobody does anything great alone. We need people, we need relationships, we need to nurture those relationships and make them important and value people and give them their flowers, and all these types of things are uber important.
John Davis
and his live event team and our international team, and like we all are working together.
Yeah, it really is. It is such a team, and I got to go to HQ the other day.
Yeah.
And just meet every department and
Yep.
see if there's a place that I might fit in the future. And just you forget
the writers' rooms, our assistants, the Dega putting food on our plates,
catering. Oh my gosh,
everybody's in on it and of value to us.
You gave me something on Saturday again. First remark since retirement. Thank you. You gave me something on Saturday that did just tickle me inside. I was so glad. You gave me one last piece. Because you were just walking around saying thank you, like you said, trying to have meaningful moments. And I thought it would just be a quick pass by. There was no one busier on that day than you. And you came by and you shook my hand. And you said, thanks for being here. But then you go, but one thing. And you leaned in, and it was a whole thing about staying in the ring too long afterwards with the kid. And I thought, man, even on the last night, last night. And it was great. It wasn't, I thought about it after. I go,
I did that with every match.
Yeah.
Including my own.
Well, that's something you did all the time. And one of the things I really liked is you always asked, what could we have done better? Which Kirschenbaum on the writer team and Pat, who's his kind of scribe, who's been working with me a lot lately, that's the big go-to after. Well, okay, good. What could we have done better?
Just have a postmortem.
Yes.
Well,
you said even if there was not.
There has to be a reflection process. If you don't have a reflection process, you don't have anything. Because experience plus reflection equals growth. Experience doesn't just equal growth. It's experience plus reflection equals growth. And the reflection can be very simple. What did I do well? What do I need to improve upon? And how do I want to do it? Well, better, how? It can be 3 simple questions that you ask yourself to reflect on the thing that you did, whether it's for me, a podcast episode or a coaching event or a speaking engagement or whatever the case may be. Like, okay, what went well? What was awesome? All right, let's jot those things down. What do we need to improve upon? I said too many ums. My pauses weren't good. My pacing was off. Whatever the case may be. Okay, what's the action item now that I can improve upon those things I identified going forward, and I can apply them? Learn and apply, learn and apply, learn and apply. Experience plus reflection equals growth, because you learn and then you apply and then you get better. And that's what John's talking about here with this sort of post-mortem idea.
Nothing.
Have a postmortem and dig.
Yeah.
Dig for it.
Yeah.
Hey, there was an awkward moment between our 1-2 exchange.
Right.
Okay, let's tighten that up next time.
Yeah.
Or let's figure out why. Is it because I was talking too loud, or you were trying to?
And also, there's no personal, it's not a threat to your personal identity. John's talking about it in a really sort of methodical way. Just how can we get better? And you're not bad because of it. You're not broken because of it. You don't suck because of it. Just how can we improve? Because that's the whole point of life, is to improve.
Talk over me talking too loud, or I was talking too loud.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I do that after I did that for
John
every
Cena
match.
calls his matches
I
way
do
too
that
loud
for
all the
every
time,
match,
no matter what. So.
And including my own.
I love it. You invited me a couple times out, and they were your team, including your lovely, lovely wife, who helped with a few promos. I don't know if the world knows that, but
they should.
She definitely is going to get a co-writing credit, not just on John's words, on many of mine as well. But that team you have around you, I saw them, and I wanted to go around when we were all outside the ring, and I really got stuck on your shoes, and I never made it over to them. But it was very important to you that they were there, and she was there at every show.
Yeah.
Every show.
It was far more important to me that she was there, because a lot of the folks on the team have been with me for a long time.
Yeah.
It was very important that she was there.
Yeah. Well, I feel the reason, I don't know if they relate to each other, but I saw John when I'm driving you around and I'm trying to learn everything I can, and we're having a great time. And was it Delaware and New
Happy
Hampshire?
Hanukkah. If you're on TikTok, please join me over on YouTube for the full stream.
I don't know if you remember that.
That was Delaware. I don't know where the Blue Hens, geographically, I don't know exactly.
I just remember the lady
Delaware.
telling us we had to leave, and you kept upping the time, and somehow she still kept coming out.
I believe in diplomacy and friendly negotiation.
Most of diplomatic they're possibly could be. No, but there were some phases.
Love the ads.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world.
At least this is like an important one, an informative one. Definitely don't drink and drive. Absolutely not. Super dangerous.
Drive sober or get pulled over.
And when it's someone you look up to and admire and you want to be like him, as I wanted to be like you, I still enjoyed the fact that I don't know if he knows just about everything about himself. Because one week he was a cowboy for a solid month. Full hat,
chewing Levi Garrett.
The beers, chewing Levi Garrett. And I thought, I mean, my dad was a cowboy.
I think your timing's off. That month was like 2.5 years.
Okay, well, so you the phases were cowboy, but then country music stayed because we listened to a lot of Conway Twitty, a great deal of Willie Nelson, all outlaw country, Merle and Waylon and all that stuff, which I don't know. Our little theme song that we had was Poncho and Lefty.
Story about two friends.
It is. Do you know anything else about the song?
Not a thing.
No, it is good. If for those watching, please tell me. I know it's about a story about two friends, and that was our song, Poncho and Lefty.
Sometimes that's all you need to know.
Maybe that is all we need to know.
Oh, you know a lot about stuff. I know that's a song I like.
Poncho and Lefty. But the cowboy phase was happening. Levi Garrett being chewed, the cooler, but then there was also the lifting phase, which you've always been into physical fitness, my gosh, and it's been part of your whole career. But there was the phase of Olympic lifting where you were really, really big on telling everybody about Olympic lifting, and Rob gets involved. Hard Knocks becomes a thing. You got wooden shoes that you're carrying this little bag for platform lifting. Bands became a thing for a minute. All of these phases I was around, and then period of time I go away from WWE. I don't see you. We have no interaction, and then ultimately when we get back together, the first time that any brown liquor is brought around, I'm assuming we're gonna shoot this and gargle it and like fire in our throats and bellies. And you gave me this whole thing about it's scotch, and we savor it, and it was just a refined. I remember kind of sitting back and thinking, he seems in such a refined, different place. And
I mean, it's a beautiful thing, right? To just think about the totality of your life and think about the different phases we go through and evolutions we make and who we are in this season and this season. Like right now, currently, I'm in the most important season of my life. Like I became a husband in 2024 and I became a dad in 2025. And now I'm in the next phase of my life, the most important phase of my life of being a dad and a husband. And that's the greatest honor and responsibility I have. But if you look at my life 6, 7, 8 years ago, totally different season. And the way I think about things and how I go about my life is different. And Cody Rhodes is alluding to John Cena's sort of different seasons.
It doesn't mean that wasn't in there still, but there was something about her and you together that I really was so happy for you.
Thank you very much for saying that. I firmly believe we shouldn't be who we were yesterday. And when you look back at your life, just for a moment, just reflect in your mind. Are you the same high school wrestler?
No.
Okay, great. Are you the same person you were when you left us?
No.
Okay, and phases before that. Like all of us have phases.
Yeah.
And what I loved about every chapter and the chapters to come is I enthusiastically go in.
Yeah.
And then when something is exhausted, I take the nuggets of what I really loved about it. What did I love about the cowboy phase? I loved the sadness of wanting love in my life, but the ability to not commit. Like I am meant to be on the range. I am meant to be on the road.
Yeah.
All those outlaw songs are talking about like life on the road.
Yeah.
As if they're forced, but they're not. It's a choice.
Yeah.
And then the lack of things. And I also liked essentially the background-ish noise of country music. But every once in a while, when you're through that bottle of brown, like you could be like, yo, listen to the words.
Country music is the fucking best, by the way. All right, let John's on a roll. Let him continue.
Yeah. And they were also running parallel lives to us, doing different shows every night.
Sure.
Trying to make it work, trying to balance everything when there's no such thing. The fraternity involved in that, the persistence in weightlifting, the precision. It's essentially like a golf swing with a bar, and it's something you'll never perfect. So you have to do it a million times just to be okay, and then do it a million more and its success is measured in 0.5 kilograms.
Okay.
0.5 at a time.
Yeah.
You can do your best.
Yeah.
And you can break your best by 0.5. That's not a ton of weight, but incrementally it adds up to a great compounding gain. It's like everything I strive for. Being able to sip and enjoy. I asked Undertaker one time, why do we drink bourbon?
Yeah.
He said, because it's hard. No kidding.
Yeah.
And we gargle it because it's difficult.
Yeah.
And when I'm trying to get my eyes on a room of who are the right people.
Yeah.
The business is tough.
Yeah.
It will just, if you're not ready for it, it will get the best of you.
Yeah.
And it was
Also, someone's got to give Cody Rhodes some podcasting tips, mate. You don't have to say yes after everything that John Cena says. It's okay for John to just talk, and you don't have to acknowledge every single word. But that's his podcasting inexperience. Maybe he'll give me a call and I can give him some fucking tips, eh?
metric among many. Can you take a rib? Like, can you do the hard stuff? Can you be up early? Can you be out late? Can we trust you? Again, a bit archaic.
Yeah.
Because the business has changed. But the reason they did that was because it was difficult. So my takeaway from that was, don't be afraid to do hard shit.
Sure.
But also, like, what I loved about that time was the brotherhood.
Yeah.
The fraternity. So what's the difference? Why do we got to drink it all at once? Pour me something, let's sip on it, and let's have a conversation. Let's grow and learn.
Yeah.
You know? So I'll take things from these phases and move on to the next phase. And
I mean, the key lesson is always going to be in every domain that you live in. John mentioned it sort of right there, is like, do hard things. Because in life, there is going to be involuntary suffering, uncontrollable suffering, where things just happen in your life that are just fucking hard, that you have no control over whatsoever. And so the point of doing hard things on a consistent basis is that you're doing these hard things voluntarily, so that you're armoring yourself for the involuntary suffering. You are, whatever it is, right? Going to the gym, going for a walk, getting in the cold plunge, the sauna, whatever the case may be, whatever the hard thing is that you want to do. Then when the uncontrollable hard thing comes, you've built up an armor and a sense of, I can do hard shit so I can get through this. That's really important and really powerful.
if we're sitting here 30 years from now and I'm still the same guy, I have some course correction to do.
Yeah. Well, that's Hunter's rule too. I'm not the same as I was.
Shouldn't be.
And
we should all strive for growth and approach life with curiosity. Yeah. You know, I can't wait to, everybody's like, oh, what are you going to do? I don't know, but I can't wait.
Was Shane McMahon the one who said we gargle the whiskey to separate the weak from the strong?
So he gave me a mirror message of what Undertaker said. We do it because it's not easy.
What a statement to make to a group of people, you know?
But like, so what I hear is we're trying to bet on the right people.
Yeah.
And I get that. I'm a way more lenient. I want to bet on everybody. I want everybody to win. But I also get why it exists.
Hello on TikTok. Hello.
For many
full
more
stream
reasons
on YouTube.
than that.
Please join me there.
Escapism in some form.
Sure.
Jekyll and Hyde. This could turn into a therapy couch.
Yeah. We do that every now and then.
For the longest time, pro wrestling was my safe space, and my life was a fucking wreck, and everything was great in wrestling, so I didn't want anybody coming in, which was a lot of the reason why I wanted to make sure my teammate was at every one of these. And in being at over 100 shows, she gained knowledge of wrestling. She talks the language now, and now I can reference moments in my career. She'd be like, oh, man, that's great.
We stole your toast game.
The toast game? That's her idea.
We stole her toast. You want to explain how the toasts work?
Yeah. So anytime,
I don't know if you want to give it away.
No,
but
I have one tonight. We're on a date tonight.
I stole it and thought this is a great, and it's fun with a big group of people.
But it's also fun with a small group.
It works.
I've been totally bawling when it's just her and I.
Yeah.
So she's introduced to my group is eclectic from all over the world. I don't have neighborhood friends because I've never had a neighborhood. So she's kind of dropped into this petri dish, and boy, we lean into conversations. I don't mind talking about sports and the weather, but I can only do that for a hot second. And I want to talk about real shit because I want to grow. And all the people around me are in that same mindset.
John wants to learn and grow and learn and grow. I love that. I mean, the more I listen to John Cena in these interviews, the more I would absolutely love to have him on my podcast to dive deep into his psyche, his mindset, the way he prepares, his performances, how he gets ready for a role, how he gets ready for a match, his mindset, the way he's changed his mind, on what makes him tick, all these things that I think people are missing in these types of conversations that he's alluding to over and over again about the process and effort and the brotherhood and different phases of life, and how wrestling could be an escapism here and there, and what we tend to focus on, and the vice of excess and the vice of deficiency, and all these types of things that really make John Cena the man he is. And it's interesting to see this side of him after his retirement.
Yeah. She's like, you guys, it's crazy what you talk about. And then one night she just came up with the idea of like, let's have everybody at the table have a thought. Let's do a toast.
Yep.
Like, Cody, you go first and I'll end it. And everyone goes around the table. And what I love about it is the folks that are new to the group can simply say cheers. They get to speak and they get to listen.
Yeah.
And listening is a lost art.
Yeah.
And dwindling every second.
Oh.
So when the cool thing about a big table is a majority of those toasts are going to be like, you better have 2 drinks because you're going to rifle through them.
Yeah.
But you also have to listen. The 2-on-2 toast is good because we can both emote, and it's really, it's a personal thing. But when you have 19 people.
Losing to last week's leftovers.
Same commercials.
Time to bring the juice.
If you're on TikTok, join us over on YouTube, full stream.
When every day feels like Monday, bring the juice. Minute Maid.
Money in the Bank time. Cody Rhodes is climbing the ladder. He's actually
We done it! Money in the big case is mine!
Wait a second. He's cashing in.
Once again, I
We
cannot
have a
wait
new
to use action figures. on my son.
WWE
It's
Money
gonna
in
be
the
so
Bank
fucking
kickout
fun.
ring. Figures sold separately.
Here we go.
You're going to listen for 18 stories. And when you go, you got to also know your time. You hit your times.
Oh yeah, it's a whole. That's why I like the larger groups. There was an element of camaraderie, but also almost a competitive nature to the, but also listening and learning about somebody, and then and that itself.
We just had a real special one on Sunday, and it's pretty much everybody you saw in that front row.
Oh yeah,
and every single person. I lean in. I got very few guardrails because I'm at peace with who I am. There's not a ton of protected information, but the stuff that is mine, hardline.
I am at peace with who I am. What an absolutely brilliant statement. And what a cool place to get to. I am at peace with who I am. Beautiful.
Boundaries, that's mine. The conversation between them, my wife is the same, but a lot of those folks, for the first time, like, were able to take down some of the guardrails and speak from the heart. And it was, I love seeing that.
You mentioned your listening. It's a lost art. It's not a lost art to me because in MetLife Stadium, in front of 60,000+ people, you were about to attitude adjustment me through a table, and I had my hand in a weird position, but I'm also thinking, I'm taking the bump. He's fine. And you said, you said, I can't hear and I can't see because of where my arm was. And I thought, but it just throw me. I'm not like, I'm the one who's falling. And then I had to move my arm so you could see and hear. But you then said the nicest, all of this should not be said in this setting, but you got it all out. Hey, I can't see, I can't hear. I move my arm, and then you go, thank you so much. And then threw me through the table, and that wonderful space age table that we have today that's quite complicated. We're going to get it right eventually. It shattered, but that was as clear as it could possibly be. Need to see, need to hear, need to listen. Need to listen.
A lot of moments in the retirement match.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of these days, and I know the consumer, or right now, the information we have, I'm a very, when the facts change, I change my mind.
Yeah.
But the information we have is our consumer wants to have that curtain pulled back more and more.
Yeah.
I know that WWE catches ring mics. I just know they don't turn them up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, John. I think WWE is giving them more backstage information so that WWE fans are consuming it. I don't know if we want it necessarily. I can't stand the the WWE Unreal show. I know most wrestlers can't stand it. I think a casual sort of non-dedicated WWE fan who just like understands that WWE is WWE and they stumble upon it on Netflix are like, oh yeah, I want to see what's happening behind the scenes. Oh, that's cool. But they may never actually get switched on to actually watching a live wrestling show. I don't really think that most fans want that. They maybe want a little bit of it, a snippet of it, but there still has to be this suspending of disbelief that makes the show what it is. So I don't know if I totally agree with John there.
Audibly talking a lot for all of the match.
Yes.
When Archives chooses to release footage, you'll hear me so many times. Ears, bud, ears.
Yeah.
Can't hear. Ears, bud, ears.
It's like
the noise it's the conversation. And if you're having a conversation and your ears are plugged,
there's hours of unused sound of Robin Williams as the genie just going on and on. I feel it's probably very similar because some of the full conversations shouted out in there by you are truly amazing.
Are you ready to hold WWE history?
Thank you, world famous Nightmare Factory. The first time we've done it here.
May this be your forever spot.
Wheatley American Vodka.
This is a WWE ID location. This is maybe the next 18-time champ's going to come out of here. Why would you do it anywhere else?
Almost saying it in a way.
This should be your spot, dog.
I hear you.
I even suggested get your students for the broadcast.
Yeah.
So we can have a live audience. Filmed at the world famous Nightmare Factory in front of a live studio audience. Y'all can come up with some like 80s open VCR effects.
Of course.
I know you would love that, bro. Come on, nostalgia, old NWA open or something like that.
I do love a period of wrestling. I feel like every time you come on my bus, it's on, and you've often asked, what are you watching this? What are you getting? There's something in there.
There's something in everything.
It's like the 6 hours of you got to get through it a little bit, but then there's that moment, that Terry Taylor, Buff Bagwell finish, that you're like, that's it.
But here,
I can take that.
You're watching matches to, I think, have it on.
Yeah.
Be close to the product.
I need it.
But also learn. I watched every event I was on. I watched 95% of the matches that happened.
Yeah.
Just to watch them. And I was into every one. And every one, I would put myself in the shoes of the competitor of like, I would have done this. I would have done this. This was the long enough pause. This was too short. Or I don't know why they did that finish. Or they milked the T-shirt at the beginning and didn't pay it off. So many things.
Yeah.
I don't mind watching matches. I'm not good enough to have enough discipline to, in those moments, like, okay, I have to have it all. I should have, maybe I'd learn a little bit more, but I don't have the discipline. I'm not good enough.
I think you have.
I mean, that just goes to show you that you should be studying your own material, and also you could just see what goes into creating a great match. Like, there's so much that goes into creating a great match, into sports entertainment, into making a great wrestling match. Speaking of making a great match, right? The Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight just happened on Netflix, and I am not straight up saying that it was rigged or scripted or whatever. Like, some of those punches and obviously look super legit, but I saw a video from, Brendan Schwab, who obviously used to be a fucking really legit fighter and is still a legit fighter. And I'm taking his approach. And he said basically something was off. Something feels weird and something felt off about watching Joshua and Jake Paul fight. But, get your money, boys. They each got 92 million. So kudos to that. But I am taking his approach and saying like something felt off or weird. And I watched the whole fight with my buddies. But based on that, right, a whole set of things goes into a professional wrestling match that you can call before, you can call in the ring, you can do a little bit of both. And just everything we've heard from John Cena, it's about listening to the crowd and giving them what they want in those certain moments.
Of the discipline. What's the bigger question here? Again, retirement just happened. Thank you. First words. And what would you like to do? And forgive me for the vagueness here. What do you feel is next for you? Pro wrestling, if the people in the industry who know you, and a lot of the fans, because they know you in terms of the authenticity, that connection has always really been strong, know that you aren't going to wrestle again.
No, for sure.
And you being part of the WWE as an ambassador. Mm-hmm. But what do you think is next in terms of what hill is next to climb. As a great lesson, and I had said it 3 times. I dropped 2 of you yesterday, and in terms of just talking with Kirsch, what's our why? What's our why here tonight? And then, of course, let's climb the hill in front of us. Do you know what that is? And if not, it's quite all right.
I love those questions. I love those questions. What's our why? That's the question. And the plan of attack is let's climb the hill in front of us. What's our why? So ask that question to yourself. What's my why? And then once I figure that out, okay, let's climb the hill in front of us. One step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. That's a beautiful sort of mindset to have.
I think the world would like to know what's next.
I have always been somebody to wait for life to deal you what it's going to.
Yeah.
Because life will deal you a hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, it will deal you a hill. So what is immediately next for me?
Yeah.
I got to get my 3rd run on an implant.
Oh, hey, look.
I've lost 3 of them, and I got to get another one.
Who did it? Was it Gunther? Or you just lost it?
Just lost it. Life did it.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to get that done 2 days from now.
Okay.
And then holiday travel.
Yeah.
So be present with curiosity and purpose with my family.
Yeah.
For 7 days, and then for my other family for 10 days.
Yeah.
And then after that, whatever hill I have next. But that is like keep screen time way down. Get as many social engagements as you can.
Yeah.
Actively listen.
Be present with curiosity and purpose. That's what John Cena said with his family. Be present with curiosity and purpose. Wow, that's a beautiful statement.
Yeah.
Curiously ask about folks and be genuine in what they have to answer.
Sure.
Know when a good friend of mine tried to head. Do you want me to listen or do you want me to help, essentially?
Yeah.
A lot of folks just want to lighten their backpack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So these are folks I care and love about, and actively, after years of absence, hiding under the guise of, well, I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm still not pouring into that relationship.
Yeah.
So I got 2 to 3 weeks of that, and then I'll see, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about this next thing I have to say, because that's beautiful in terms of what's immediately next. Love
the ads. Just a couple of you on TikTok, but if you want to watch the full stream, we're over on YouTube.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
I don't know in what setting, but I really hope we get the opportunity to work together again.
You're my first job after retirement.
There it is.
Look at this.
Literally, yeah.
No shit. You are my first job after retirement.
You can't sit.
And I scheduled this like way ahead of time.
You did. You made it very clear. You also made it very clear we weren't going to be faking it. You needed retirement to happen.
Yep.
And the conversation would be authentic and real, and we were very ready for it.
I can hear you rounding this up.
I don't have to.
No, you do. You got stuff to do. I hope.
You know, a lot of the stuff I have to do is stuff you used to do.
Stuff I still do.
Stuff you still do.
I just hide it away from people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I mean that's the path. That's
my path. Worked okay for me, but there's everybody has their own.
Certainly, and
DJ moves in his own lane, Roman in his own lane, Brock in his own lane, you in your own. Like there's a ton of Phil in his own lane. Yeah. Like it's a chicken soup business, dude. And I think that's why people get so passionate about it. And I think that's a lot of times why.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people have their own lanes and people can do their things a certain way, but like there are certain truisms, I think, in every business that if you do these with your own sort of flair and your own sort of uniqueness, it's going to bring out that or sort of your personality. But there are some truisms and things that you have to apply. And John Cena, I think, has taught those to Cody Rhodes, it seems like, in a very profound way.
Emotions might get the best of us, and in a nice way to call back to maybe something I wanted to do this to talk about this is we all have our own way of doing it.
Yeah.
And what I love about the past year is so many people have been critical about so many moments.
Yeah.
And blamed it on this fictitious book or like creative direction.
Sure.
This always happens. I never, what a fucking ironic statement to make. I never speak in absolutes.
Yeah, no.
I rarely speak in absolutes.
Yeah.
In my 23 years of time under tension, creative has changed so many times.
Yeah.
That is the nature of the business. It is also okay for us to say we have a lot of eyes, we want to make a moment, because we don't know. And I say we as if I'm involved in this creative body, but I feel as if I am. You can't tell if someone's going to run with it.
Yeah.
But you got to give them a chance.
John, you are involved. Don't try to make the claim that you're just a cog in the wheel. You're not. You were John Cena.
Chance. You got to. We have an opportunity to mesh worlds. And gosh, we've been doing that forever, since Cyndi Lauper and Liberace at one, you know? And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I'm not gonna beat up a tree about like, well, what was your why? Why did you not continue being on my favorite program?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because you had life.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But you know what I have to do? Pick six, I gotta get back on the field. Yeah. And I just can't waste my time. I can't invest my time in something that is never gonna come to fruition. I admire the fact that people criticize that, like, they didn't have any long-term booking for this. They might have. That shit changed.
All the time.
And if the critical spot is like, moment of heel turn, great. You were in the ring, it was fantastic. You lost in the Air Force, appreciate it. And then
his ear keeps getting hit.
Afterwards, the audience's expectations were, I want a new personality, I want new gear, I want a new theme song, I want all this. Yeah, great idea. Those are all great ideas. You know it takes 2 years at least to get a guy over.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna do that and we gotta call it quits in December, I don't know if that's enough time for a turnaround. So now the tools I have to work with are like, play within confines, develop your why. Okay, I'm in an abusive relationship. And all right, that makes sense. I can lean into the polarization of the audience and say all those things I didn't want to say. I rarely walk down hypotheticals. Let's walk down hypothetical streets for a second.
Down.
Let's say everyone that showed up at the chamber is active until August.
Okay.
That robs us of John Cena, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
That robs us of John Cena, CM Punk, John Cena, Ron Cena, John Cena, AJ Styles, John Cena, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Me and you for the last one, mano y mano.
Yeah.
So yes, the story that might have had star power and gravity and who knows what, but what we got by just being like, these are the pieces left.
Yeah.
What can we build? What we got from me personally was beautiful.
I mean, another sort of theme of this podcast has been like, what you got is what you got. What you brought is what you got. It is what it is, and accept reality for what it is and use that as a way to build what you're going to do. Don't fight against reality. Don't challenge it. Don't bet against it. Just accept it and use that going forward.
It was beautiful. And I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. Again, I've released art into the world and they can think how they want about it. I'm just also saying that, like, is it a wise investment in time? And what I've learned about like credible wrestling critiques, it's of course it is, because you want chatter and you want clickbait. But not like, let's analyze what happened. And I was in the ring with you. I was in the ring with Randy and Punk and Ron Cena and Logan Paul and AJ Styles. Man, it was really loud.
Yeah. So
judging by the wise man, Shawn Michaels, does that mean we did okay? I don't know. But man, sometimes like what?
I'm not responding to comments on TikTok, but if you want me to respond, you can certainly go to the full stream on YouTube. That's where the full stream is at. But what John Cena is saying is true. Obviously, it would have been cool to have The Rock and Travis Scott not sort of bail after the heel turn, but what we got was also really good. And so you make do with what you're given. I mean, that's the whole idea of what John Cena is talking about, especially in creative process where things change all the time, every second. This is what you have tonight. Okay, I'm going to make the best of it. This is what you got tonight. I'm going to make the best of it. This is the spot you have tonight. Okay, I'm going to make the best of it. And it's like being the best at getting better, and very, very important mindset to have in every domain of life.
It's the next thing you're going to do, what's all these hypothetical things. Let's just figure out what is.
Yeah.
Figure out why we're doing it, and just climb that hill in front of you, man. You know, because it's going to change. They're going to have a plan for you, and it's going to change. And here's the thing: the WWE audience, or the people who critique our work, they're so forgiving and understanding when the reason is injury.
Yeah.
Someone gets injured. They can't compete. Okay, we got to give that up. Totally blows the story.
Yeah.
Creative. Injury. I get it. What if it's an emotional injury? What if we deem things aren't working out?
Yeah.
What if somebody says, I just can't make it?
Sure.
Losing to last week's leftovers.
Time to bring the juice.
When every day feels like Monday, bring the juice. Minute Maid.
The day has come.
Avatar Fire and Dash, rated PG-13.
Like,
yeah,
it just doesn't work sometimes.
Yeah.
And instead of bitching about what we could have had, the imaginary thing, look at what we got, dog. And when I reflect on Saturday, I went peacefully. I closed this chapter peacefully. And man, fun stuff.
You mentioned Saturday closing the chapter. Upon hearing that you were coming on the podcast, do you know who asked to be on the podcast? Gunther.
I was going to say Haku.
No, Haku is welcome on the podcast. We do welcome Haku. I'd like to talk about the situation that happened in Long Beach, New Japan, how you only beat up me in the corner while there were plenty of other bodies. But no, the man you faced.
Definitely should have Gunther, and I'll tell you why.
Yes, we're having him.
For a myriad of reasons, but like, I see things from a different plane.
Yeah.
He sees things from this plane.
Yeah.
And I love that because he is relentless in mastery of a piece of canvas.
Yeah.
Relentless. We can talk about a myriad of things.
Yeah.
You'll have a lane of conversation with him, but it'll be enthusiastic. You like a flat white. He's a coffee nerd.
Yeah.
Wrestling. And like with purpose, he has an idea of what it should be and an idea of what offends him.
Yes, very much. And this offends me.
I cannot tell you how much respect I have for him. And I know he's not going to say the same thing about me, and he shouldn't. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It is such an honor to be able to step in there with someone who...
I mean, that's a cool vibe because like John Cena and Gunther think about professional wrestling in a totally different way, like not even similar at all. John Cena through and through is a sports entertainer, is a WWE performer. Gunther, yes, is a WWE superstar, but he is a professional wrestler through and through. And they think about things in such unique and different ways about what they believe is a really good match. And to have them clash for John Cena's final match, I think, again, is a great culmination. And John Cena said it there. He gets to go out peacefully. Gunther thinks the mat is sacred, and he wrestles and moves with a purpose, and that's very powerful.
Whose moniker is the Ring General.
Yeah.
And in my last one, if I could add a star to his uniform, someone who believes the mat is sacred, I believe the same thing. We just see it through different lenses.
Very much.
I hope you have him on. I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
I'm excited about it. As we come to a conclusion and land the plane, you say all the time, leaving it better than you found it. And I know that's big. And you always, especially now, speak very much, it's measured, and it's with the thought of growing, and it's with the thought of knowing you don't know everything. But I am just asking, do you feel after Saturday and after this retirement tour that I am so insanely thankful and grateful to be part of, both professionally and personally?
Big ups to Wheatley.
Big ups to Wheatley. Do you think you left it better than you found it?
We wouldn't be doing this 10 years ago. We might be doing this, but it wouldn't be for you guys.
Yeah.
The amount of opportunities for performers is exponential. And the company is far more empathetic and inspirational and like, go out there and get it.
Yeah.
We went from trying to be accepted. And this is why it was tough to let talent flex different muscles, because man, I can't take you away from the thing.
Yeah.
This is another benefit of less live events. You can do more things. You can grow if you're a creative and you want to grow your tentacles.
Yeah.
It's fine. So that's a pro of less live events.
Yeah.
Money's never been better for talent. Creative outlet has never been better for talent. We have great partnerships now. I believe that we're accepted on far more of a global plane.
Yeah.
I think the overall attitude of talent is we're in the consumer service business.
Yeah.
And consumer first. I think in the days of old, it was very like, I'm talent, stay the F out of my way.
Yeah.
And I know there is some breach of personal boundaries that everybody's trying to discover with all the new technology out there, whatever, but I think our talent is very consumer friendly.
Yeah.
And consumer aware. I think that's now an aspirational position that we've done a great job with our partnerships of fanatics and sports licensees to make it a universal truth that that's a symbol of greatness.
Yeah.
Economically, those who sit in the boardroom are pretty happy with where we're at.
Yeah.
I remember we were about $6.50 a share. We are currently not trading at that today.
No.
So that's kind of where I started.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. Consumer engagement is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
I'm inundated every day of how I've effed up or and also consumer admiration, consumer chatter.
Yeah.
Is at an all-time high. So I think it's not just we always tote like we don't give enough love to you guys out there. We always tote like Arena Gate, merchandise record, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's a direct reflection on your passion. And our consumers are more engaged and around the world, but that's because of our relationships with companies like Netflix.
Yeah.
You know, companies like ESPN.
I was just about to mention ESPN.
Also Netflix. Now instead of I am from an era where we are on live on cable television.
Yeah.
And on the same night, we're on at 2 a.m. in Germany.
Yeah.
When we used to be on at 8 o'clock in Germany.
Yeah.
So we would draw in Germany for 6 months and then it'd dry up.
Yeah.
What happened? Our TV deal went south. We're on Netflix. You can catch us there. We're a member of the Disney family. You can catch us here around the effing world.
Yeah.
It's going to give you a chance. We got a PLE in Italy coming up in May I'm excited about.
Yeah.
We're taking wrestling.
Yeah, it's just that wrestling has finally gone mainstream a bit with Netflix and ESPN. And it's built off the back of people like John, who've done all of this stuff over the last 23 years to make it something that it is today. And it's cool that he recognizes that. It's cool that he's being an ambassador moving forward with that. It's cool now that we have someone like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and all that stuff, taking on this mantle moving forward. They've already been carrying it for a while because John Cena hasn't been a full-time in a minute, but it's cool to see how it's progressed from when I started watching it in 2006 to where it is now.
WrestleMania overseas in another year for the first time ever. All of these things, man. I mean, you got it in front of you to make it way better, but I'd like to think that we're better off.
I was sitting next to Ed Koskey and Gorilla during the match, and live updates on the phone from ESPN, and it didn't feel out of place. And I thought how special that was. Very much your answer. That rings true in terms of the business where I stand, and I stand in a very good place in the business.
Entertainment used to look at us like we're not good enough.
Right.
Sport used to look at us like we're not good enough. And then they kind of both started borrowing. And honestly, my hat's off to the influencer culture.
I mean, that's so true, right? The actual sports world took a lot of WWE stuff to make people want to watch it. The entertainment world took stuff from WWE to make people want to watch it. And then you get this sort of blend of sports performance where you have the drama and the promos and the backstage and the interviews and the fights and all this type of stuff that makes WWE is sort of the perfect blend of sports entertainment. Together, it is sports entertainment, but every single sport on the planet is sports entertainment. Boxing is sports entertainment. They're all sports entertainment because if no fans are there to watch, if no fans were there at Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, then what's the fucking point, right? And so it's all sports entertainment, and many things like even UFC have borrowed from WWE.
You get knocked for a lot, but man, the fact that they're successful allows both entertainment and sport to lean into like, there's a million different ways to do it. And we're influencers before influencers. We're reality TV before reality TV. Like we're sport drama, we're cinema. Like it's all things rolled into one. And it just took, I don't know, when Vince bought from his dad in 1980 until it took 50 years for us to be on a level where everyone's cool. And because everyone's cool, that means we can fire in a lot of lanes, where before we were just a carnival business. So I started as a carny, and now we're shaking hands in some pretty important rooms, and we're shaking hands with a lot of people in the arena. I think we're pretty good.
It takes time. 23 years, you said.
Time under tension, small wins, dude. Just climb the hill in front of you.
I'm going to give you this, John. This is a wonderful jingle brought to us by our friends at Wheatley American Broadcast.
Big up to Wheatley.
Big up to Wheatley and You Can't Sip Me. Great bartender today. Thank you all very much. I'm going to ask you to replace a word in this jingle.
Watching Moscow always get the mule.
All right.
Vodka this good is an American jewel. So good I drink it.
Why should Moscow always get the mule?
Yeah, well, that's one part of it.
Vodka this good, I repeatedly play with my tool.
Well, that works too, but
if I get enough of that.
Wheatley so good I drink it. And instead of neatly, what does John Cena put there?
Oh, Wheatley so good I drink it completely.
There you go. Completely. As, You Can't Sip
I got
Me.
through about a 65% of this thing on camera.
Yeah, we know, man of your word, you are going to, all of it will be gone before you leave here.
This is the Pat Summerall section.
Wheatley so good I drink it completely, and having just completed your career and now completed your professional wrestling career at that, completed your first interview and podcast outside of it.
At the world famous Nightmare Factory, WWE ID facility, where the next 17-time champion will emanate from. These hallowed halls. Get yourself a live studio audience. Get yourself a wonky 80s introduction. Maybe Lance Catamaran can come and do some commentary for you.
I don't know. Lance, okay.
Yeah, I got his number somewhere.
Yeah.
I think he went back to Utica.
We'll exchange contact info.
I need to thank you.
Kyle just made a decision
To the end before another ad break.
that would change his whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Here we go.
You don't need to thank me.
Of course I do. Hey, whoa, take the compliment. You came in the ring Saturday and thanked me, and I didn't want any piece of it.
No, you did not.
And what everything that was going on in my head was like, instinctually, this is wrong. I need to be better with words of affirmation, and I need to be more coachable. Take the words of affirmation and be more coachable. Let these young men call this spot and see where we land.
Yeah, I think all I said to you was, don't fight it. And then I love you.
Yeah, and that's what got me. That's what's like, I'm doing this, however I feel, it's the right thing to do. But I want to thank you because you are going nose to nose, and you go as hard, in some cases harder than I can imagine. Your work ethic is aspirational. You will joust that. Here is my volley. You are responsible for more than yourself. For many of these years, I was running a one-man show, and it was like, if you want to ride the wake, I'm the boat. You can get a tow and some skis, but we're doing it my way. You're a family man, a dedicated father, a wonderful husband. You got people to support and that support you, and sometimes that helps, but like, you are juggling so much more than I ever possibly could. So thank you for overstaying. You gave me another 35 minutes. It's not lost on me, and a lot of me wanting to milk this is just, I miss my friend, and I wanted a conversation with my friend. I love you too, Thanks so much for this time. And man, you're doing it. You're doing it, and I'm so fucking proud of you.
Thank you very much. And obviously thank you from me, but thank you from, I said it and I didn't really finish my thought in a sense. I feel like I'm in a good place in our industry, a good position to look out upon it. And I think I can safely say from everybody who puts on a pair of boots, who's going to tell you the same thing, and everybody who comes to watch those who puts on a pair of boots, thank you very, very much. And
oh no, man, this is gonna be out of frame. We're gonna have to hug our knees, but
oh God,
I don't give a shit.
Oh, buddy,
Love you, man. Love you too.
Oh man, thank you so much. Oh,
I'm gonna go get a flat white.
Oh
you
my
go to work.
gosh, John Cena. John Cena.
Wow, what a beautiful way to end that episode. It's like it's very clear from all the interviews and wrestlers that I've seen and heard how much they love John, how much he means to them, and how much John Cena means to the business. And you could tell right there how emotional Cody Rhodes was. And that's just wrestling in a nutshell. Wrestling is emotion, life is emotion, and it's a beautiful thing when we can emote and express vulnerability and be vulnerable and express true love and appreciation and gratitude for the people that came before us and give them their flowers. And it's like a brilliant, beautiful thing. And I mean, the main theme throughout the whole episode with John is like focus on the process, fully accept reality for what it is, and then focus fully on the things you have control over. And damn it, make meaningful relationships along the way and tell the people in your life how much you love them no matter what, because you never know when the last time will be the last time. And God, with everything you have, give your best fucking effort because you never know how good things could possibly turn out. And that's the vibe. Thank you, John. I love you very much. Cody Rhodes, good job. You could be a little bit better at podcasting, but we'll talk about those notes later. But thanks for everyone for being on the stream. Much love and